Thank you for joining us for this live finale of the 10K Heads Up Championship, event number 15 on the GGPoker World Series of Poker Online Bracelet Series. I'm Lon McEachern. He, of course, is Norman Chad. We've got 3 heads-up matches coming your way, 2 semifinals and the championship match. And one of our final 4 will earn a bona fide World Series of Poker bracelet for their efforts today. And Norman, I imagine you're going with the guy who's been there, done that, albeit in the live version.
Yeah, I've got 2 words for you. Adrian Mateos, Campeón del Mundo.
That's 5 words.
I meant 2 words that you understand.
Adrian.
Okay, Adrian Mateos indeed has been there and done that. His last bracelet came in the 10K Heads Up No Limit Championship in 2017, a Final 4 that included John Smith, Charlie Carell, and Ryan Reese. He's the youngest ever to win 3 World Series bracelets. He has an EPT title. He has 4 scoop titles. He has a mustache and a beard, though personally I would shave the beard. Most of my poker success has been without a beard.
You have no poker success.
Well, you have no mustache, so there.
Captain Obvious has nothing on you, my friend. Moving right along. All right, let's take a bird's eye look at today's 10K event. It is always a marquee event on any of the poker calendars, and certainly no different here with the online version at GG Poker. We had started the 161 total players. They had removed the cap, which was a good sign originally. They had it at 128. Went to 161. Prize pool of almost $1.6 million. 16 made the money. Men cash 31,000. And cab fare. First prize, almost $500,000. So this is a worthy bracelet to win.
It's a worthy bracelet to win. A lot of money at the top. I would have hated to finish 17th. Hate to do all that work and come away with nothing, which is most of my life in a nutshell. And all 4 players today are guaranteed $155,000.
So they're going to start with 100K chips, 200 big blinds, pretty deep. But heads up can be so volatile. It's why it keeps us on the edge of our seats, because anything can happen so quickly.
Yeah, I know nothing of heads up. I literally have never made it 2 heads up in any tournament. 200 big blinds I've never had. If you have 200 big blinds, I just think you take them, you get dressed up, you walk down Broadway and you go, hey, everybody, I have 200 big blinds. That's a lot of big blinds. I just would take them and walk around this town.
They could do that, actually, because that's one of the interesting factors about being an online bracelet is that these guys have to get into a certain mind space. They've got to have aggression, awareness, and agility, and they might be doing it in their living room or their basement, as we see.
Yeah, it does pay, though, when you're playing online to eliminate distractions. I think it pays not to be lying around. And as you know, I like to get dressed up when I play online. So I even think it pays to look good when you're online.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but it'll be interesting to see how these guys manage this pressure of winning a bracelet with being, making breakfast maybe, depending on where they are in the world. All right, let's move on now as we have some notable finishers. As mentioned, we had 161 players. A lot of the top heads-up players in the world were here. Bill Perkins, he just seems to kind of, enter any tournament he can because he can afford it. He's just one of those rich guys that wants to play poker.
Well, he can afford it and actually usually does pretty well the last few years, particularly at high-stakes cash. You see some of the big names here who had their finishes, notably on this list. 4 of these 5 players owe me money. I'd like to thank Fedor for balancing the books for me. That was very nice of him.
And we've seen Max Cruz in there. Maybe not a well-known name to poker players. This guy's a member of the German Olympic soccer team, the German Olympic national team, and he's hanging with these big names.
Yeah, it's amazing how well he plays poker and how well he plays online poker, where you got to push a lot of buttons. And interesting, he plays online poker without using his hands. So his skill set is just remarkable, and it is varied.
All right, so as now we see the guys who are gone, we focus now on the 4 that are left. Very serious players with a serious matter at hand. We've talked about Adrian Mateos. He's a guy that obviously everybody out there who's still left knows all too well. The youngest ever to win 3 bracelets at age 22. Of course, he won't be the youngest to win 4. That is your guy, Phil Ivey.
He's dead to me, but yeah.
A long time ago. But as they get set up, what is their mindset right now? Do you think they are just cooking breakfast? Do you think, are they nervous with these 4 guys? I mean, all the world to see right now.
Your online guys don't get nervous, particularly online. I mean, many of them, play multiple tables at once. It has just become second nature to them to push buttons. They understand all the math. I don't think there's any nerves when you start online playing at this level. I think it's quite natural to them.
All right, so with a guy like Arthur Conan taking on Mateos, does he have to come in thinking that he's the guy? Basically, he's the guy. I mean, he can't think of Mateos' resume as he sits down with him, right?
I don't know. Arthur thinks in a different language since he speaks a different language than I do. Arthur is French.
He is French?
He is French. So I never think in French. He thinks in French. I don't know. If I was thinking in French, I'd be thinking of unbelievably good food. So what he thinks going in against Mateos, I have no idea. I don't think he's, just fearful of Mateos. I don't think it matters that he's playing a guy who has 3 bracelets. I just think he's going to play his game.
When you think about who you're playing, we've seen heads-up matches lately online where the guys actually are in the same room looking at each other but playing online. This is totally different. Is there an advantage, you think, to not being able to be seen by your opponent at that point?
There's always an advantage. There's no tells. There's no table talk, so they can't pick up anything on what you say. They can't pick up anything on how you look. So I think, again, that's another reason that when an online person goes into the live arena, they're uncomfortable for the first time, and they might want to cover up because they're not used to having other people look at them and hear them.
Could go the other way, too. All right, let's take a look at our first 2 players and their matchup. We've got Arthur Conan and Adrian Mateos. And as you look at their live results, Norman, the thing that jumps out to me, and maybe it's just me, but it looks like 5-figure scores or 6-figure scores are not as good as 7-figure scores. Would you go with that?
That would be some odd math. That's new math. That's lawn math. Why would 6-figure scores be better than 7-figure scores?
No, they're not. The other way. Yeah. You see $3 million scores for Mateos, and the man is comfortable in any setting, in a poker setting.
He is, and actually, he's in the Super Millions alone. He has earned $2 million plus over the years. So he, as we said, he's been there and he's done that. But Arthur is pretty accomplished himself, and he has $1.5 million in GGPoker winnings. So.
Yeah, and Mateos, as mentioned, over $10 million in GGPoker online winnings. He had a huge score, 2 huge scores already this week, and so these guys they had a delay between making the Final Four and getting here to this semifinal and final matches. So there are GGPoker events going on all week. There's GGPoker events going on in the following week and still play the main event. But these guys are busy. I mean, it's just they're multi-tabling sometimes, perhaps.
Yeah, this delay isn't the same as the November 9 we used to have for the main event, but these guys they'll be multi-tabling. They can be multi-tabling today, literally, as they're playing for this 10K bracelet. That's just, again, the mindset of an online guy, and if there's action out there, they're going to take it.
Yeah, if you can't focus on one thing, but they can focus on 20 things. And the trouble with youth today, by the way. But anyway, these 2 guys did share their thoughts with us earlier this week on the matches. It's great not just to see their screen avatar, but it's nice to see actually a flesh human being. And they talked to us a little bit earlier this week about this semifinal match. Let's listen in.
My name is Arthur Conan. I'm 24 years old and I'm French. I'm a professional poker player since 6 years, and I'm playing mostly MTTs, but I've played some cash games too. So yeah, I hope a lot for the 4 left of this bracelet. So my big specialty in poker, and I think in his heads up, would be to make crazy bluff and hopefully get through. So yeah, get ready, Mateos.
I play many heads up poker, but I play more like normal phases of the tournament. So I normally study more like final table play or I don't know, like normal games like 6-man, 800 normal games, because heads up at the end of the day is strange the day that I play heads up. But anyway, I have good results in heads up. I win many of my heads ups games, especially in like major tournaments. So I feel pretty confident. I respect a lot Ponakov game, and I think he's a really good tough player. So if I play with him next match, will be nice signal because that means that I win the first one. But yeah, I think it's a really tough opponent, Bonakov. Yeah.
That is one semifinal. The other semifinal match will be between Daniel Soltis of the USA and Alex Ponakovs, a Latvian pro. Norman, I know you bleed red, white, and blue, so I guess you're going with Daniel here, right?
No, I gotta go. I gotta go against the red, white, and blue. Hal Ponakovs has a great personality. He has great confidence. And he also, I think he shoots a better photograph. Apparently, Daniel Soltis is in the witness protection program at the moment.
Which, some poker players have always enjoyed that anonymity factor. As rounders moving around to different poker rooms, they don't want people to know who they are. Sneak in, take a hit, and move on. And you think that's the strategy here?
It might be. Poker's weird as a game or a sport. It's the only one where you try to come in the side door and leave out the side door. You don't see that in tennis or golf or bowling. You're in the public arena here, so you've got to deal with the public arena. Soltis, again, I don't know who he is. I might have seen him last week, serving me in a New Jersey diner. He might have been a toll taker on the New Jersey Turnpike. He might be a marine biologist for all I know. I don't know who he is. I'm sticking with my man, Ponakovs.
All right. Well, Daniel did decline our request for a live interview, keeping up with that mystery man persona that he is bringing. But Alex, as mentioned by Norman, a very personable young man, gave us some insight on his game and his goals today.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm from Latvia originally. I'm almost 30. I will have birthday in 10 days. So I'm a professional poker player. I'm doing this for approximately 12 years since I became 18. I actually do coachings for some students, not only playing myself. So I'm a guy who knows what he's doing in poker. So I'm the poker player that is very good in tournament poker. I know very good basics, and my kind of strength part of the being as a poker player is to find exploits against my opponents. So I like to watch what they're doing, what type of leaks they have, what type of mistakes they're doing, and I punish them. I really believe I can win this tournament because if not now, then when? Because I'm becoming 30, I still don't have a bracelet. I'm very close to it, so I definitely gonna win it now. So Daniel, you're my opponent, and I do think you're the kind of small version of Daniel that I already beat. It was Daniel Smith, and exit is there. I'm ready for this bracelet. You will need a luck, of course, but it won't help you.
Well, a very confident young man is Alex Ponakovs, and his match with Daniel will be going on as this one is, and we'll check in over there if a big hand does develop. But we're going to focus on Conan and Mateos as we get underway. The final four, this is semifinal, and then the two winners of the semifinal matches, of course, win a chance to get into the finale for a bracelet.
And remember, today we just are underway. They start with 100,000 chips each. And Arthur Conan, as we just got underway, off to a quick start ahead of Mateos.
So the blinds at 2,500 and 5,000, a very short stack, as it were, appears to be. But I'm not sure if that blind level is correct. We're going to double check on that. You see the payouts? Minimum payout is going to be 100. About 165,000, something like
155.
That. 155. Yeah.
And this was a very quiet pot that will simply go to the ace high. Not a lot much action between the two in that one.
So the blinds are actually, what we thought, 250 and 500. So they do start with 200 big blinds. So just take a zero off that graphic over there. And as mentioned, Adrian Mateos, very adept at all the games. He always felt he was built for high-stakes poker. He needed to get an early big score to get himself into that high-stakes arena, and he seems very confident since he's been able to make that leap, Norman.
Yeah, he now only plays he only plays no limit hold'em, and he's looking for as many bracelets as he can. He has the 3 early. He knows it's going to be tough to win more bracelets since he's only playing no limit. Those are very big fields generally.
Ace high flop. You see Arthur Conan with the best of it here. And that's the thing, and people talk about the difference between online and live poker. We have commented on live poker for so many years, and the reason the blind levels are shorter, and they're even shorter this year than they have been in the past in last year's event, is because you get dealt so many hands. So it's an equitable almost type of arrangement with the number of hands you get in per hour based on the number of minutes the blinds are.
I thought the levels was shorter because like the electricity runs out. You got to make sure you finish the tournament before you run out of, like satellite time or something.
Well, if you're playing in New Orleans or the East Coast right now where there is no power, I guess you would need that battery power to keep it going.
Well, in position right on this one, Arthur Conan flopping middle pair, which is going to hold up if
Mateos does hit the river. Conan with the early lead. And even though the blinds are small, we have watched throughout the whole run-up to these final 4 where matches can go very quickly. As mentioned earlier in the preview shows, we did see a match go over 2 hours. A couple of matches went less than a handful of hands. So it's a matter of, what comes your way. And poker so often it is not what you have, it's what your opponent has. So you get those big hands on big hands, and it goes quickly.
And this was interesting because Mateos let out when he hit the 4 on the river, and then the big raise from Conan, who I think turned his hand into a bluff, and his pair of 5s, of course, was best, and he takes that pot down.
Bluffing with the best hand. King deuce. Theoretically, when you're heads up, that is the lowest ranked hand where you figured to be favored against your opponent, and so it worked out for him there. Arthur Conan, I've mentioned, from France, and of course you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, right? I'm sure everyone's
who's not a Sherlock Holmes fan.
Arthur Conan Doyle, is the writer of so many of those Sherlock Holmes books in the late 1890s and 1900s. Imagine if Arthur Conan kept it in the poker world and married Doyle Brunson.
Okay. No. He would then be Arthur Conan Brunson.
Oh. All right, hold on. Let me scratch it.
Oh, Lord.
That's not going to work.
Okay. Nice try.
Okay. Queen high.
Wow. That's going to tilt me for a while. Plus, you can't get... They're men. There's only very few states they can get married in. The same-sex marriage. And that's wrong on so many levels.
Forget I ever said anything. All right, queen high best here. A bet from Mateos, and Conan folds. And, of course, we are keeping an eye on that other match between Panakovs and Soltis. Queen's now for Conan. Not going to get anything out of Mateos here. And interesting story with Arthur Conan. He is truly a chip in a chair kind of guy. He went through the whole process, and it was arduous getting from France into the U.S. during this time of COVID and trying to get into the right states where he didn't have to go into a long quarantine and everything, and ended up in Florida. And he found a lot of success early on.
Yeah, he ended up in Florida because there's so many COVID restrictions in Europe, and he went down there for the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa, and he had a big week down there, and he won the 50K super high roller, and he won that with a chip in the chair.
Yeah, he was down to one 25K chip after a failed bluff. And then that was with 4 players left.
4 players left.
He rallied, ended up winning $733,000 in that, and then won some more money that week. So the guy has won 3 WPT high roller events too. So he's no couch slouch. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to say couch slouch.
Good for you. Yeah. So I have a chip and a couch usually. I certainly never have more than a chip. Yeah. He ran a bad bluff against a bluff that didn't work against Seth Davies. He was down to that chip. He quadrupled on his next hand, and then it was off to the races, and that was a stacked final table that he won heads up against Sam Soverall. Christopher Brewer was third, then there was Seth Davies, Jeremy Ausmus, and Sean Winter.
Wow.
So a great Florida trip for him. He followed that up with, I think, a 10th place finish in their in the WPT main event.
Yeah, he could have gone home then, but then just went west and ended up in Vegas and started playing there. So that was an interesting hand previous. They both flopped the 4. Soltis comes through. Pretty even right now, early on. This is semifinal number 1, we're going to call it. Semifinal number 2 going on as well in the background. And then we'll have the championship match after a short break when these guys are done. But so far, just kind of a feeling out period. No, big hand on big hand so far.
Well, this one we haven't had, and the chip's about even right now. 2 pair on this one for Ponikov's on the river. His pair of 9s was good going into the river. And again, not much action and an interesting attempt here by Soltis out of position. He bets the 2,900, over betting the pot on the river with the bluff. And I don't see any way, obviously, Ponikov's going to get out of here. He might be raising.
There it is, 93.85 from Alex. And Soltis does give it up. So this, actually, I missed the switch, but yeah, we went back to the other side, Ponikov's and Soltis. Ponikov's said to us he's all about the money. Bracelet would be nice. He does feel he's overdue for a bracelet, but he says, I like the money, is what he said.
No, well, he does like the money. He says, in fact, but he also pointed out in one of our interviews with us, is at the moment the title might mean more. He says, because I already have money. So he would like more money, but it would be nice to pick up his bracelet. And he says the clock's ticking on him. He's about to turn what? He's about to turn 30 later this month. Oh my goodness!
My goodness, yeah.
He better get a bracelet.
Both he and Mateos ended up in the final 2 tables at one of the WCOOP events, the 25K high roller. Alex cashed for almost $70,000, finishing in 12th place. Mateos had a deeper run in that same event, cashing for $306,000. So not only is Mateos winning money in other GGP poker events, he's going outside the box and winning money wherever they can. And that's the beauty now of online poker and the events. Because of COVID, everyone's at home. You can have all these events. You can multi-table from different continents, different platforms all the time, and just keep your game and your bank account flush.
Now, would you tell us earlier about King Deuce? What's King Deuce in Heads Up?
It's the lowest ranked hand where you figure to be a favorite against your opponent in Heads Up.
Okay, so he was a favorite again at the start of this hand.
He was on
the flop, but he's no longer a favorite. And, of course, a gut shot now to a wheel out there.
Base everything on all the cards that come out.
I'm just saying, I want to know what King Deuce was. I heard you say that earlier. I wanted you to amplify that. In this case, it was favored against Queen 4. You said it's the lowest ranked hand in which you stand to be favored against any random hand.
And that's it, before the flop, pre-flop.
That's all I was asking.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's good enough. It was good enough here until the turn, and Ponikov's is going to take down this small pot.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely a feeling out period. No telling, if these guys are valid, active online players, they are going to know each other. Now, one of the requirements of this Heads Up tournament, because we were going to be airing it live here as we are, was that they had to use their real name. I don't know if Daniel was happy about that, being kind of the mystery guy. He might have wanted to keep his screen name. But in this world, and definitely in the high roller world, each guy pretty much knows who each guy is. I would
yeah, and this is Daniel would be the exception here. Obviously, we don't know if he's a big cash game player. Hardly plays online. He only has 3,000 in live winnings. So yeah, he is the question mark of this Final Four. They would not know him at all, other than if they looked at some of his play here during this 10K. I don't know him at all. Personally, just again based on his blacked out photo, I don't think I like him personally. I don't trust him. I don't know what he does for a living.
He might be a nice guy.
He might be the nicest guy in the world, but I don't want my gynecologist, or I don't have a gynecologist. I don't want my doctor, my podiatrist, or anybody coming in like some bubble, like in some black thing, and I can't even see who he is.
Maybe he's got ex-wives to pay or something like that. You can understand that factor of his world, right?
I don't see that. I don't think that was necessary. And if we could just edit that out. What are we live?
We're live.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. So I need to talk to Daniel before I know Daniel. And right now, since I don't know Daniel, I have an instant dislike.
That's the issue too. We don't know him. We could talk about him badly all day. He might be our neighbor. He might be a guy that delivering our mail and not delivering your checks.
That's the problem with America. You don't even know who your neighbors are, so you don't get friendly with them. You don't have a community. You don't have a society
so all
anymore.
of life is an online game, you're saying. You're just in your own little bubble.
That's the problem. We've all turned inward. We have all our food delivered. We have everything delivered. We're sitting in front of a TV set or a computer or a mobile phone all day. You never see anybody. This is not the way to go. I mean,
you know your Amazon guy?
What Amazon guy?
You're a UPS guy who's dropping off the Amazon?
No, in fact, because of COVID, usually they just, they drop it on the sidewalk and run.
Take a picture of it.
You don't know
send you a
anybody.
photo. Yeah.
So it's the wrong way to go, and that's why online, actually, I think online will be better once it's online with people being able to talk to each other. Once it's essentially combining online and Zoom, where everybody who's online can see each other and you can communicate with each other.
All right, back to the other match. We see Arthur Conan coming into this hand with a lead, now with pocket aces, a weak ace for Adrian, which you love an ace, but he's going to give up to the raise. Okay.
Very nice, and a very nice give up there because, and he is running hot as he's been taking the best of Mateos right now, and any ace and heads up you're usually going to like, but Adrian got away from it.
And that's the thing about, being experienced in this venue, too, is you're not going to panic when you get down. The blinds have gone up to 3 and 6 now. Mateos very comfortable with that stack. Probably doesn't want to play a huge pot early on. Does manage to flop top pair against the bottom pair of Conan. So Conan could be in trouble losing a few chips here.
But you point out again, we are deep stacked. So early on, again, when you're experienced, there's no reason to play big pots, especially if you don't think you have the best of it at the moment. So as long as they're deep stacked at the moment, I think we will see a little more conservative play.
Do you have any idea the most number of blinds you've had in a poker tournament at one point? Would it have been during your final table at the World Series?
Yeah, I have,
But that's a mixed thing. So
I can't even remember the most amount of blinds I've had. Usually, again, at the end of those limit World Series tournaments, even when you're in good shape relative to the rest of the field, you have very little play left. You don't even have that many big bets left. So I don't think it was that many. I've never had 100 big blinds on or off the felt in my life. I've run bad mostly. I mean, elementary school is pretty good, but since then I think I've run pretty below, and my ROI is bad, and I'm usually low blinded whether I'm playing poker or I'm in a job.
Conan now with ace king. Saw him with aces a few hands ago. Doesn't get any action from Adrian. A little frustrating there. Great folds from Mateos at the right moment, and now Mateos has him dominated pre-flop with the king 10.
We were talking about Arthur's trip to the U.S., and he ended up going, and he had been in London, and then he ended up going for a couple of weeks to Morocco first, and then he went to New York City.
He played in Morocco a lot.
He played in Morocco, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to New York City, and he had to wait. It was 2 weeks in this, and then he came down to Miami where he had his good week in Florida, and it was a long journey.
Can you imagine calling 800 grand and cashing a good week in Florida? That's a good week in Florida.
I once I was heads up in shuffleboard.
You play against all the super seniors.
Yeah, I know. I had a false ID card, and I was only 44 at the time, and I pretended I was 60, and I rolled by everybody. It was embarrassing, but it was a great week. It was in Deerfield Beach at Century Village, and it was probably I've never been heads up in poker, but heads up in shuffleboard, I won my first title.
I saw at that point on your MySpace account where somebody posted a photo of you hip checking one of your opponents as you walked by them, which was totally dirty, by the way. Okay. You knocked them out of the arena.
I can't believe nobody's on MySpace anymore. I can't believe you noted that I was still on MySpace, which, by the way, was an underrated, whatever you call it.
Thank you.
Flopping a set of deuces here. Ponikoff's has had the best of it since the beginning, and
keep a close eye. We're switching back and forth between these semis pretty quickly here.
well, he let Soltis try to take a stab at this, drawing dead on the turn.
We just call here, right?
I think he's just gonna. I think he is gonna just call here,
Deuces
and,
full.
and just hope that once again, see if he can induce Soltis to take the bait.
Yeah, I got to think Daniel's thinking something's up here after he gets called up to that paired board and the overcards that are out there. But it is checked by
Well, it's still
Panikov.
it's possible Ponikoff's had a missed draw. He could have had he could have had Jack 10. He could have ace 10, and he gives up there.
Goes
And
check. So I don't think he missed a bet. I don't think Soltis calls anything on the end there.
I agree with you. So I think it was best to do it the way he did it.
Yeah.
And just couldn't get one more street of money out of Soltis.
So Panikov with a slight advantage now. They did start with 100,000 chips, 200 big blinds. Blinds have increased to 3 and 600. And a 3-bet with King Jack of Hearts for Daniel Soltis here. And these heads-up guys love suited cards, but 7 deuce is always 7 deuce.
And they never play the 7 deuce game in tournaments.
No.
Unfortunately, it's just not allowed. Another reason I prefer cash to tournaments. They should even, the 7 tray game's not bad either.
7 tray?
Yeah, he.
Nobody plays
Alex
7
just
tray.
had-
A raise and a fold. Kings again go unrequited. Panikov has a main event cash. His very first main event, I believe it was, finished 33rd in 2013. That's a great way to burst the bubble for you. Pocket fives for Panikov. Sees, of course, all overcards come out there. No Jack, no 6.
And Panikov, so that was his first main event, and then in 2017 he did have a second cash. He finished 1,001st. Now I took a look at his hand play that tournament. I thought he overplayed a lot of hands, otherwise he would have finished in the top 1,000. But he cashed.
I think he blew it. He blew
Oh,
it.
he easily could. I mean, I would have finished in the top 1,000 with his hands. He just didn't play well, and that was his second cash
Wow.
at 1,001st.
Panikov's got aces just a couple of hands after he had kings. And now he's got kings again. Wow, what a run. 3 out of 4 hands. You get kings, aces.
You know what the chances are of that?
3 out of 4.
No, that's what happened. But the actual chances.
No, I haven't done that calculation.
It's actually 50-50, I've been taught. Either happens or it doesn't happen. the great Neil Weber, a friend of mine, taught me that. When people ask you what are the
50-50.
chances, what are the odds of that, he goes 50-50. Either happens or it doesn't happen. He's the smartest man I've ever met.
That's just semantics. It's not numbers.
Oh, I don't even like the word semantics. It's numbers.
A weak ace for both. Soltis is suited. Alex Panikov's from Latvia. 3 of the guys of our Final Four looking for their first World Series of Poker bracelet. Of course, Adrian Mateos has 3 of them already.
And all 4 of our guys in their 20s. Conan is 24, Soltis 25, Mateos 27, and Ponikov's 29, approaching his 30th birthday, as he told us.
That's what happens when you get 29. You approach your 30th.
Yeah, these guys, these days, these guys think life ends at age 30. Okay.
Uh-oh, chop pot. If it goes to showdown. Ace with 4 overcards to their kickers. Anybody want to try it? Anybody want to try it? This will tell you a lot about Daniel right here. What kind of player he is, what kind of guy he is, what kind of hair he's got.
Wow, this one play.
This one play with it.
Okay, now we just found a lot about
black hair.
him.
He's got black hair, obviously.
It's black hair.
Uh-huh.
Facial hair, probably clean. You think he's clean shaven?
He hasn't shaved in 4 days to make a move like that.
4 days. Okay, and it worked.
Yeah.
It was going to be a chop pot instead of a Soltis pot. But this run of hands in general, and they're not big hands right now, and both Ponikov's right here had the better pre-flop, and now flops middle pair. Ponikov's just had the better starting hand, generally over the last 8 or 10 hands.
Matt Berkey told me that was hand distribution is a huge thing, and it sounds good too, doesn't it? Hand distribution. Just means what cards you're dealt. But the way Matt Berkey says it and explains it, he takes like 6 pages to write out actually What hand
Okay.
distribution?
That's
is.
why Matt Berkey, by the way, has people sign up for his training, because you just hear hand distribution and go, God, this guy,
Ooh,
this
hand
guy's
distribution.
he's the Michelangelo
I
of
thought it
poker
was just
training.
about what cards I got. No, it's about hand
Yeah.
distribution.
You know, I learned to use the term range advantage about a year and a half ago, and people think I actually play
Correctly?
poker.
Correctly?
Actually, I can use it correctly.
Really?
And it just sounds really authoritative. Well, you know that flop, you know, in the big blind, he's got the big blind, he's got the range advantage, so he should take advantage of it. Yeah, it's just another fancy term.
Range advantage. All right. So a raise by Soltis with a suited jack. And he will collect those chips. Very even. And, you know, you have to wonder the mindset of guys who are this close, and they're very close, 2 matches from their first bracelet versus what Mateos is thinking, like, again, as we mentioned, been there, done that. Does that play a factor in your decisions? I mean, if I lose this pot, I'm down to this, and then I'm going to be this, and then I got to get more desperate. Or can they focus?
I think they focus, and again, just the amount of, you know, the tens and hundreds of thousands of hands you end up playing when you're essentially online most of the time. I hate to say it's another tournament, and that's what actually, you know, Ponikov said originally. It's just another tournament to me. They want to win the bracelet, but they just pretty much stayed focused in trying to, as Alex says, finding the exploitable spots, finding what his opponent's weaknesses are, and then figuring out how to exploit them as the match goes on. And so it's just like business as usual for them.
Interesting decision for Alex here. He does call with the suited ace against the Jack-10 of spades, and what a flop for Soltis. Still, he is behind, but he has that flush draw.
He's got a straight flush draw, no?
He does.
Oh, be still my heart.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm not ever going anywhere.
4,200 from Soltis. Now Alex makes the call, and boy, he pairs up, and the flush comes for Soltis.
Now this is a decent opportunity for Soltis to do some damage here.
Of course, Panikov needs a 7 to try to steal this back. It's checked over to Panikov's.
Why would a 7 steal it back? No. He doesn't need a 7. He's drawing dead, right?
Full house.
Full house? Oh, you're right. Full house.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Omaha again.
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking,
Get out of the gutter. Get out of the gutter.
Let me go take a break. Can they blacken me on the screen so I can take a shower and put on my Hold'em clothes?
All right. 83-16. Soltis has to feel he's good here. What can he get from Alex here after the turn? Just a call. Oh, it's a blank on the end. Soltis with the best of it.
Well, Soltis almost certain he's going to have the best of it here.
Mm-hmm.
And
big
there
hand. That's the biggest hand so far. Soltis with a little tip in the scale on chips goes to 152,000 almost.
Well, no, we're back over.
And we're back to
back
Conan.
over.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that was a quick one. And while we've been gone, Conan now with more than a 3-to-1 chip advantage over Mateos. And here with top pair on the flop, gut shot for Mateos.
Blinds at 4 and 800 now. Another 10. Conan has the action with the trip 10s. He does check. Mateos.
He's drawn dead to a 4 to make the straight. Let's see if he tries to steal this pot right here.
He'd love to bet their draws, but he can see a free card if he wants. Nope, 10,000.
Bad timing.
Very bad.
A 10,000 chip river to come.
Sometimes you wonder if that's a tell. I've seen Negreanu do this, where he bets 10,000 with a 10. I know that Adrian's probably not thinking that at all. It happens. So now, Conan wondering if he can get more, wondering why Adrian is in the pot, but Adrian's got to give up here.
Yeah, Adrian gave up 25% of his chip stack with taking a stab out on the turn.
He's only got a pot-sized bet left. Yeah, he does check back. And a monster hand for Arthur Conan tips the scales even further in his direction. Yeah, running hot is Arthur Conan, not Doyle. Queen high. Conan with the best of it pre-flop. And now Mateos, again, the experienced player, but you start to feel, a little shaky with this chip disadvantage here. But you have to look for spots, and maybe this is one. No, just 6-9. Really not much that Adrian can do. He does have to fold. So now it comes down to card distribution and moxie, I guess.
Well, the good news for Adrian is that he's still sitting on more than 35 bigs. You don't even think twice until you're like under 25 bigs. So he doesn't have a lot of room for maneuvering, but he's got enough where he can do a little of this and a little of that before he's too short.
And he's got a little of this. Bottom pair does Mateos. He likes that second king. A little more unlikely that Arthur has one. Be interesting to see the directions that Mateos takes from here. He's been in long matches. He knows how to grind it out. Conan looking to close him out and get a step closer to his first World Series bracelet. A check on the end from Conan, pairing up, and a bet from Mateos. Arthur can afford it.
Arthur would have liked to get the showdown here. Hoping that maybe that river deuce was good enough to beat a no pair hand.
Yeah.
And he may give him a call here.
Mateos with the best of it with the pair of sevens and the kings. He does make the call as we suspected, and Mateos will take that pot of 4K. Yeah, well played. Unlucky for Conan on the end.
And a little chatter from him with good game. I think good game is being misused there. But,
It could be he doesn't speak that well in the English language and he clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, you're talking about French.
Neither do you, and you're a broadcaster. I mean, I think he can understand the buttons.
Where did that come from?
Well, I don't know. Good game's pretty simple.
You want to make it to 20 years, buddy? Be nice.
How much longer to 20 years?
Well, I'm already on my 20th year because I did the first year with my good friend Gabe Kaplan.
Because I did the first year with Gabe Kaplan.
A flush for Panakovs as we switch back to the other side.
Well, last year you did with Jamie Kerstetter. I wasn't part of that either, right? So you've had a year with your good friend.
Oh, so you've only done 18.
Gabe Kaplan. I'm 2 behind you.
2 behind me. Maybe I'll take a year off. Boy, would that be good mental health break for me.
Oh, would that be a good mental health break for me? That's what you sound like to me when you say stuff like that.
But doesn't most of the world sound like that to you?
I walk around all day with that voice. It's incredible. I have to stop it when a cop pulls me over. I want to see your driver's license registration. Oh, you want to see my driver's license registration?
All right, look at this hand. We got top 2 for Alex. Top pair for Daniel.
Alex again running good. He was dominated pre-flop, and now it's a great flop for Soltis and a greater flop for Alex.
This could get Soltis into some trouble. That'll teach him not to put his picture in his online profile.
Well, will this hand give us a little more? You've got him with black hair now and 4-day-old facial growth. So what will this tell us?
This will tell us what he's wearing.
Well, a third card straightening out there. Backdoor flush draw now open.
The fact that he's still in the hand tells me he has long pants.
Okay. So you got him now with black hair, 4-day-old facial hair, and long pants.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's remarkable because a lot of these guys obviously are not going to be playing on long pants.
Oh no, he likes to go against the grain. I can't tell with the shoes yet, but and the shirt is still a mystery. Probably a gray T-shirt, but we'll see what happens on the end here. But I don't think he's going to. Well, he still got top pair with a good kicker and the draw. 20,916 from Alex here after the turn.
That's a big, healthy turn bet, and he gets
called. Gets a call.
That represented 30% of Alex's stack behind.
Wow. The king of spades on the end.
So that's a dangerous card. You got the backdoor flush came in. You had the straight come in. If you had actually the straight
Queen
was
jack,
might have
yeah.
been already there. Queen jack would have been already there. So I think
Right. So the king might not worry him as much, you think, since the queen jack was already there?
we would have heard from him earlier, and chances are that the backdoor flush did not come in. So I think we might see Alex still put in another value bet here, hoping that he gets called by a pair of nines or a pair of tens. Or even a pair of eights. I think you know, if he puts Soltis on a one pair hand here, or even the king hitting, you know, if the guy had something like ace queen or ace 10, and no,
Wow,
he's not getting
check,
more out of him.
And tens and nines will take that pot, a good size one for Alex as we switch back to the other side. Pocket sixes for Mateos, a couple of sevens on the board with an ace. Conan with nothing to crow about here.
Decides to play a little big stack poker here and see if he can move Adrian off of a hand. But Adrian, of course, not going to go anywhere with the pocket pair.
Similar stacks now between the two matches. We've got about a 3-to-1 plus advantage on both sides of these semifinals.
Don't know what the pre-flop action was. I don't know if there's any more bullets left in the chamber here for Arthur, if he just might wave the flag. I'm mixing metaphors. I don't even know what metaphors are.
Just don't mix them.
Oh, and he did have another bullet in the chamber.
Look at that. And a fold by Mateos with all over cards on the board.
That was a snap fold, huh?
Yeah. So I think Conan has a button-down shirt, actually, with 3 buttons unbuttoned after that.
Oh, I didn't know we were dressing and addressing all 4 of them. I thought you were just trying to figure out what Daniel Soltis looks like.
Yeah, we'll get back to Soltis, but ace, queen. Oh, wow. Flush over flush. Mateus in severe trouble.
This actually could spell the end of Adrian Mateos.
10 deuce of hearts for Mateos. Ace queen of hearts for Arthur Conan, who knows he's got his man beat. Oh, tiny bet. Quarter pot. Oh, third pot.
Somewhere between a quarter and a third.
Yeah.
But those are numbers you don't want to think about.
No. So I wonder if we're going to see a raise right off the bat. Yes, we will.
Yeah, he wants to, you know, certainly he thinks he should think he has the best hand. He also wants to protect against like an ace of hearts, any heart that's better than a 10 of hearts that he can still lose to.
With a 4 flush out there.
Yeah, with a 4th heart comes out there. That's a great card for Adrian Mateos, except it's a terrible card for Adrian Mateos. Let's see if he somehow can avoid losing most or all of his stack in this hand.
Mateos just 26,000 left in his stack. You see the pot is 12,000 right now. It's going to get a little richer after this turn betting is done.
Heads up, just a flat-out cooler in a very bad time.
And maybe a flat here from Conan can get the rest of the chips in the middle on the end.
I believe so. I would think he would flat here.
There it is. And an ace on the end. Both flopping flushes. Arthur Conan flopping the nut flush. Now Mateos with less than a pot-sized bet left in his stack. This could be the end. Arthur Conan Doyle.
And it is the end.
Yep, there it is.
He said good game again here.
He
The
did.
correct good game.
Wow,
and boy,
what
just
a
like that.
Cooler. Adrian Mateos looking for his 4th bracelet. Will have to wait. Arthur Conan takes him down. He is still alive in his quest for his first bracelet. And now, I'm not sure. Yeah, we do go back to the other side. So Conan has advanced. Alex Ponikov's with a large advantage here on this semifinal.
And Ponikov's missing his up and down straight draw here on the river. Ace high is good for Soltis. 16,000 in the pot.
Ace queen here. Just as we saw ace queen in the other semifinal. It's not going to be the end of the match here, though.
Puts in a little value bet bluff, as it were.
Now you just have to make your best guess. That pretty much completes everyone's range there. I mean, the guy could have any one of these hands, and he does fold.
Again, even that small bet was more than 10% of Daniel's stack, and so he's going to be a little tighter in that position. And the 4K got it done there on the river for Ponikoff's.
So yeah, it's only been about 45 minutes of play. One match down. We expect him to be between an hour and an hour and a half or so. Of course, you get a flush on flush situation, and things are going to escalate quickly. 10 for Soltis on the flop has him in the lead.
Turn brought a gut shot to Broadway for Ponikoff's.
And now the queen on the end, and Ponikoff takes the advantage. A lot of scary cards there for Soltis to think about.
I think Ponikoff's might be happy here just to check it down and hope it gets it. And he will get it with that lucky river card. Small pot.
King would have made Broadway, so you can't get out of line there without having it. Ace high for Soltis.
When I play pocket fours, I play them just like they're pocket fives, and it's very effective. Except if I played them like they're pocket fives, I wouldn't have flopped a set. But I'm telling you, if you play pocket fours like pocket fives, you will have success. Remember that in the long run. Thank me later.
Soltis doesn't shy away from betting here with that bottom set. A couple of diamonds out there. He's got to worry about it a little bit, but he does have a, diamond blocker, right?
I don't want to hear about blockers. I don't want to hear about any single card that's a blocker.
I
You
know
say
how to
blocker
get under
again
your
here.
skin every
You
time
can,
I can get
do
under
the
your
rest of
skin.
this
No, I
live
can
stream
do
by yourself. Blocker schmocker. Okay? That's an interesting card.
So Ponikoff with more outs now with that 8. Open-ended. And he needs it. He needs to close that open-ender on the end.
Yeah, but he's got the open-ender. If he pairs the 7 or the 9, that might be good. We know it's not. And he's actually taking a stab at this one. And Daniel Soltis is going to make a little comeback from being way down on this pot, unless he gets unlucky on the river. He's in great shape right now going into the river.
Just makes the call. And quad fours. Quad alert. Quad alert.
I hate hearing quad alert. And then when you do the hand motions, all of a sudden I think we're in a 1982 discotheque. Oh, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
This should have been the other match with Arthur Conan. Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a book called The Sign of the Four, Sherlock Holmes novel in 1890. And there's certainly lots of signs of 4 here.
I can't believe you're even aware of the Sherlock Holmes library of books.
UCSB taught me a lot of good things.
UCSB taught you how to find a good parking space.
It's all beach parking.
All right, checked over to Soltis. That kind of ended that one in a hurry.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So,
but
it's always fun. It's fun.
He gets it back to just under 3-1.
The story. Yeah, blinds at 501,000.
Does Daniel Soltis have the Arthur Conan Doyle Brunson hand right now?
Very nice. 10 deuce. That's why we bring you along. I knew you liked that thread. You didn't like it, but I knew you liked it.
I don't like it.
You used it.
My arms are crossed. When my arms are crossed,
that's true.
That's passive aggressive. Stay out of my lane, buddy. That's why I get in a lot of accidents.
No, you feel bad that you like it. That's why your arms are crossed. There you go. Queen 9. Best hand right now. 3rd and 4th place, getting just over 155,000, which Mateos will take.
And we have Arthur Conan waiting in the wings to see who his final opponent will be. He really dispatched Adrian fairly quickly and fairly painlessly. And then, of course, the cooler with them both flopping a flush on the final hand when Adrian was down more than 3-1 in chips.
A runner-up today will earn almost 280,000 US.
Well, I hope they don't spend it in the U.S. I think they should spend it in their local economy.
Good idea. Of course, they'll have to take the exchange fee with that, too.
Well, for nobody having anything,
it's pretty boring, right?
It's boring with 20,000 in the pot. I don't think any bet will be met by a call from either one. We do have the bet from the 10 deuce.
Nice bet on the end. I like it from Daniel.
Well, Alex is pondering whether his queen high is good here.
He's not wearing flip-flops with that bet.
Okay, so long pants, but not flip-flops.
Correct.
I like
No,
that.
you can't bet like that with flip-flops with 2 aces on the board.
Well, Alex is not worried about the.
Look at that.
There is the. I was gonna say he's not
What a
worried about the
call.
ace. So was the queen high good? It was good.
Yes.
Oh, see, my boy with the personality
Ooh.
is now in a commanding more than 5-1 chip lead.
But he's dominated here. His ace-9 has to be careful against the ace-10 of Soltis.
And he'll be careful. He wears a smile on his face. He takes a good photograph. He gives a good interview.
Soltis might have taken one of his shoes off after that last hand. So a re-raise from Ponikoff and the flop with a paired board. Interesting. Sets up a number of possibilities here, but Soltis is still good with the ace-10 at the moment.
Yeah, number of possibilities. Give me 7 possibilities here.
Well, it could be chopped with another pair on the board.
Okay, that's 1. You're done.
It could have two. Okay.
You gave me 1. I don't think you had a second one. I did like that he thought of the chop one right off the bat.
Yeah. That helped the chop. Alex Ponikoff. It looked like a basement he was in with the interview. It was nice. He saw the stairs coming down. He had a huge, whole recliner and couch set down there. Probably a nice monster screen down there.
Yeah,
Very comfortable.
He seemed comfortable in his own skin. He reminded me of a Latvian Ari Engel. I've a bracelet winner Ari Engel, who I enjoy talking with and playing with, and he just seemed he appeared to me to be very Ari Engel-esque.
That's not a bad thing either.
It can be a bad thing on certain days.
All right, so no chop pot if it goes to showdown.
Oh, you claiming the 10's going to play?
I'm claiming the 10 is going to play.
Well, then I agree with you.
Okay. Well, the 9 will play too, but it will lose.
Oh, you're right. See, so they both play, but one's a winner and one's a loser.
It's zero sum. It does go check, check. And the sum goes to Daniel Soltis as he puts his other shoe back on.
So long pants, a pair of shoes on right now, black hair, 4-day-old facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We're
trying to figure out between, did you say and a dog?
And a dog, yeah.
Okay, well, we're trying to find out between the neck and the waist.
Right, that's the troublesome thing. I mean, because that's what shows if you're going to be, online as we are. We're wearing,
well,
shirts, and
this is a troublesome thing for your shirtless. Well, not that he's shirtless. You're
not shirtless.
You're pantsless. He's not pantsless.
Wow.
This is a troublesome thing for Soltis.
Troublesome hand here.
Yeah, middle pair against Ponikoff's top pair.
Oh, and a quick fold from Soltis. That's disciplined.
It's very nice. I wonder what he picked up to get out of that one.
Right. Gets rid of the deuce 5 suited. So if you're in a semifinal, just visualize yourself in a semifinal match. Do you want a longer match? Do you think you have to get into a flow? If it goes bang, bang, and you're done?
Oh.
Semifinal, I mean, heads up, it takes a certain mental acuity, and you have to get in the right frame of mind, right? I mean, it's not...
Okay, I don't even know what the word acuity means. Congratulations. But longer or shorter, I don't think you care if it's I think you actually prefer 3 hands and out. First of all, there's no stress. If it gets really long, and they can go, they can go a couple hours or longer. I think that takes a little more out of you, and you got to turn around and play another match. So I just think you don't want to go too long. I don't even think you think about it. You're playing. But yeah, I would think I just want to be over as quickly as possible.
Give me the ideal number of hands in your heads-up match you'd want to go in your semifinal.
The ideal hands in a match I want to go?
Yeah, for you. For you.
One.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a trick
Makes
question.
sense.
Is that a quick question? You know?
Then you still have to wait for the other match.
So you got things to do. I mean, that's why especially online,
Okay.
you're in your own comfort zone. You can do whatever you want. You have one, and then you have a little ramen. I mean, you
Go play sit and go somewhere, right?
or what they
Win
do is they
another
play a sit and
$5,000
go.
while you're sitting
Actually, you
around.
can have the ramen while you're playing the sit and go, but just one.
Okay.
You know, that question, I think you're trying to trick me with your acuity.
I'd be careful with the ramen. It could be a little too high sodium for you right now.
I'm not supposed to have ramen because it's too high sodium. Okay.
Queen tray good here against the 7 tray. I'm sorry, the 7 tray good against the queen tray.
To cut down the sodium, I throw in a lot of pastrami.
Oh, good.
Oh, right. Oh, it tastes so good though.
Yeah,
but
that's
slow,
why it tastes good.
it's medium sodium pastrami.
No, not. You know what medium pastrami sodium is? And pastrami starts here in the red zone, and then medium pastrami is like, yeah.
Well, why are you trying to ruin a good meal for me?
Couple of kings. Ponikoff with a better king, and it's suited. Hearts have been dangerous today, as we've seen. If you're just joining us, congratulations on waking up late. We had Adrian Mateos, the 3-time World Series bracelet winner, looking for number 4, lose to Arthur Conan of France in a flush over flush situation in our other semifinal. So Arthur Conan will meet the winner of this semifinal match, and we'll take a little break when this is done, just a few minutes, and then come back for the gold bracelet match.
And Ponikoff might take another step towards getting to that bracelet in this hand as he has the better king.
Yep.
He checked to Soltis, understandably made a bet. He bet half pot.
So a 9 on the end for Ponikoff. He's increasing his advantage here with kings up. But how much is Soltis worried about the rest of this board? All right, well, those are 6,700 chips he won't see again that he can ill afford at this point, but he does have the king and gets a call, and Soltis in a little deeper hole now somewhere in New Jersey. He knows he's got to get a little bit desperate. The blind's at 600 and 1,200. He's running out of chips, and he's got the worst hand pre-flop.
Well, he's now just shy of 30 bigs. Ponikoff's with a nice trappy style in a couple of these hands and has extracted more chips out of Soltis. Made the great queen high call as Soltis tried to bluff a river card, which neither one had anything, with a couple of aces out on the board. Alex has had the better of the cards, and he's probably played a little better in this match.
Ace high best so far. And it's good on the end. Generally, in heads up, the 3 suits on the board aren't as scary as it would be in a full game.
Without question. And Alex here happy to go to showdown, hoping the ace high was going to be good. Same with Daniel, happy to go to showdown. And again, Alex just slightly with the better of it, and the chip lead now is almost 5-1.
Jack 4 suited limps in from the button. Queen 6. Does he want to keep the heat on? Does he want to keep raising? Put pressure on Soltis here?
Well, I'm with the chip lead. I don't think he's going to let him. I don't think he's going to let him limp. He's going to let him limp in, and so that one ended in a hurry. And he can do that constantly right now if he wants to with a 5-1 chip
and just
lead.
test Soltis, right?
Well, anytime Soltis limps in, I think he's just going to do what we just saw right there, some version of that.
And so that's going to force Daniel to be maybe a little more aggressive, which would put theoretically more of his chips at risk with a higher risk factor, of course. And as Ponikoff flops middle pair here with the best hand.
You know, I can only answer you theoretically because I've never done it actually.
Well, yeah.
So theoretically, I have no idea.
Okay.
And actuality, of course, I have no idea either. So I can't answer you.
What good are you?
Well, I can sing and dance.
True. With the right wine. Wedding party. Norman Chad. Call me. Ponikoff continues to roll. See what he wants to do with the big blind. Again, limped in by Soltis here.
And even with no hand here, we may see Ponikoff's decide to just put pressure on. And not an all-in, but certainly maybe put pressure on making it 5,000. Instead, he decides, let's just see a flop.
Wow, and that flop misses Soltis. He can't feel happy that Alex made the call or didn't raise. You know, you just don't. Oh, there's the king. Another one. So possibilities here for Alex to steal this away. He does check again. Just hoping to get lucky. It looks like the white flag is on its way up for Ponikoff. Yep. Soltis will take it with the queen high. Soltis, 25 years old. Couple of modest cashes. Couple of live caches. And so top of the hour, when they started, about an hour into play, 55 minutes into play. And so they're going to take a 5-minute break. It'll be 55 minutes of play and then a break. That's the pattern right here. And we're going to take a break in just a second, but just a little bit of a shocker just to wrap up Adrian Mateos. You know, you pump the guy up and heads up, anything can happen.
Well, anything can happen indeed, heads up. The worst player can beat the best player at any given time in heads up. And the card's not going Adrian's way today, and then the cooler at the end, nothing he could do about it. But congratulations to Arthur Conan. Obviously did not make any major mistakes. We didn't see the entirety of that match, but he gets into a position where he can win his first bracelet.
And Soltis in a bit of a desperation mode, maybe not super desperate, yeah, but he's feeling the heat right now with that chip disadvantage.
He's got the chip disadvantage again. We have no idea of what Daniel's skill level is in his past, what his results are, whether cash or things that we don't know about. So we don't know how good he is, but I don't know if he's worried about being this far down. Some guys, you know, they're used to it and they go, you know, I'll just play the cards and I'll get back into the match.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to step away for just a few minutes. You see the clock timer right now. It's about 3.5 minutes. This is the final day of action in the World Series of Poker, GGPoker Online Bracelet Series, the 10K Heads Up Championship, one of the marquee events on this schedule. If you're thinking about going forward in the week, still time to play in the main. So check out if you are in an area where you can play GGPoker, the main event still open and available to you. I'm Lon McEachern with Norman Chad. Take a short break, come back to finish up that semifinal, and then we'll find out who's going to win a World Series bracelet later on today.
Hi, I'm the new Daniel Negreanu, and I'm the old Daniel Negreanu. We both represent online poker sites. We both love Hold'em. I mean, we're basically the same person. Absolutely, man. I used to love watching you play, the way you would read people, call out their hands, and then, of course, call anyway. Oh, stop. I'm blushing. But old Daniel, man, I gotta ask, man, what's up with this look you got going on here? You tired or something? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of all these freaking beats I've been taking. It's freaking ridiculous. Look at this motherfucking hand. This motherfucker's calling the freaking turn with this piece of hand. Freaking absurd. Whatever. I don't even know why I'm so upset. I mean, bad beats, they're just part of the game, right? I mean, they don't really have to be. You see that? I took a bad beat, then GG Care took care of some of my losses. Hashtag, thanks GG. You think maybe I could borrow that laptop and play a little while? No, definitely not. Just say GG to that site you're playing on over there. You just think you're so clever. Nope, just a good read. GG, poker star.
Elke was waiting to come back to the final table.
Fedor hold stings. Oh my God.
Michael Adamo is the best.
can scroll around.
I won't.
Just
Yeah.
pinch it if you want. Here we go. Hello. How are you? Just behind the scenes stuff. It's all right. Anyway, we have one player already into the finale.
Who?
Not Adrian Mateos. Arthur Conan.
Okay, Arthur Conan.
He
Congratulations.
defeated Adrian Mateos. A bit of a cooler. And then these two gentlemen, Daniel Soltis at the bottom of your screen with a short stack taking on Alex Panikov, the Latvian, likable Latvian pro. And you see a nice flop and turn for Soltis, who needs help. Anyway, one of these guys will meet Arthur Conan for a bracelet when these guys are done.
When will they be done?
They'll be done when one of them has 0 chips, which will not be Soltis on this hand. It will not be Panikov on this hand. So we've got at least one more hand to play. So that's exciting.
So, in a regular tournament, somebody ends up with all the chips, right?
Yes.
And
So I've heard.
in the old days, that meant the person ended up with all the money. But they don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah, that is the ultimate freeze out.
Yeah, that's,
which winner take all. They've kind of switch it out for all in or fold tournaments.
It's the equivalent, yeah.
But and that's the thing, and that used to be the same thing. I know you hate the golf poker comparisons, but golf was that way too. It was like the winner take all, and golfers back in the '60s, and Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer among them, they would talk a deal. They would chop the pot as well because you got to live, right?
Yes.
And it happens, but now. The event happening this week, the FedEx, FedEx Cup finale, and the last place guy's getting 400,000 or something like that. So,
it's better to spread the money back out among the community that people playing. So yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you dry up your community, nobody's going to come play the next time, which is why the payouts of the World Series and other tournaments now have spread to 15%. You have so many more people going out in the world saying, I cashed in the main event, and there's your advertising right there.
One of the reasons I quit, I was on the surfing tour for like 2.5 years.
I'm sorry. Take a look at this flop before we go forward.
This is a big flop for Panikov, and it's a
Very
big flop for Soltis, and this is another problem for Daniel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Daniel top pair. He's got possibilities down the street, but 9-7 for Alex already with the nut straight. And what does he want to do? I mean, he knows Soltis has to act in a form where, he's got to be a little more aggressive. And with top pair, he's going to put out a little bit of worm, a little bait out there for Soltis.
Well, he's hoping Soltis has part of that pot, and
here
this
he goes.
is going to be over.
And that's it. All in and a call. Alex Panikov, you see, 95%. And now drawing dead is Daniel Soltis, and he has been eliminated. And so as it happens, big hand over big hand, and it just comes out of the blue. And so a flop straight for Alex Panikov, and he is another finalist now. He will take on Arthur Conan in the final coming up in a few minutes. We're going to take another break. The players do need a little time to get joined and get technically going, but that's the nature of Heads Up right there in that hand.
Right. The players don't need any time, by the way. They're sitting in front of their screens, bang, they're ready to play. But
Somebody
both of those
just told me here that they need a break. That's all.
Both of those matches ending in similar fashions. With all, the first one was definitely a cooler, but again, in that situation, Arthur Conan with a 5-1 chip lead over Adrian. They both flop a flush. It's gone. Here, once again, top pair flop by Soltis, down 5-1 in chips. The other guy, Panikov, flops the joint. And on the turn, it's done. He was all but drawing dead after the flop. So that is incredible that both end in similar fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it before. It can go bang, bang. And those kind of hands happen anywhere within a heads-up match. And we saw some in all the matches in the early rounds where they do go bang, bang, and they are done instead of a long 2-hour draw out, which can happen too. It's the beauty of poker. You never know. So now we've got the Latvian, Alex Panikov, who he does want his bracelet desperately. I mean, he talked about the money, but he says, I need my bracelet. I'm almost 30 years old. And now Arthur Conan, also the Frenchman, who's had such a great run in recent months here in the U.S. And now one of them will win their first World Series of Poker bracelet. And they're back in action right now. The blind's at 6. and 250 and 500 right now are the blinds, which is where they always started from the very first moment of this tournament last week. And so this is the final. One of these players will win their first World Series of Poker bracelet. What an exciting moment for both of them to be right there on the cusp of being a part of poker history forever.
And Conan, the youngest of the finalists at 24. And as Ponikoff's told us, the clock is ticking on him because he is nearly 30, turns 30 later this month. And he's just, he's got a great bubbly personality. He's also very, very confident. You heard some of it. He's confident that he can win against anybody. He's confident that he'd win here today. He actually was hoping to play Mateos, who he knows is the most accomplished guy here, because they have a lot of history together, and they're both very, very good players, and you enjoy playing against people you play against a lot. But he doesn't get Mateos. Instead, he gets Arthur Conan. And Ponikoff's, though, and confident that he was going to end up with the bracelet today.
How about ace-4 working for you here?
Wow, that's a nice run out since that was runner, but nothing ever for Conan in the hand. Ace high was always best, so he's hoping to put in a little value bet here maybe and get something out of this pot. I don't think he's going to check.
Again, starting with 100 grand, even here in the finale. One and done, as you have witnessed in the semifinals. In some heads-up tournaments, you'll see 2 out of 3 or other formats, but here, one and done online. Get on to the next.
So I'm actually back to the surfing tour. A lot of the matches actually were 5 out of 9, and I left the surfing tour because it was I wanted winner take all for a while. Then I decided that we should get the money back to the community, but they kept winner take all in the surfing community, so I left.
You couldn't convince them?
No, I couldn't convince them. I was never going to win. I was good enough to finish 3rd and 4th against some of these, the best surfers always were blonde and tan, and my glasses always bothered me.
Wait a minute. Let me just think of you on a surfboard hanging 10. No, don't
want
want to go there.
Fine, don't want to go there. And by the way, I didn't wear a Speedo. I had a long bathing suit on, 1965 style.
How about this run out?
This was ridiculous.
Straight over straight.
Okay, but Arthur Conan flops the wheel. And then somehow the 6 from the heavens or hell come in the gut to give Ponikoff's the 7 high straight.
Only
now.
a 7 saves Conan here for a chop.
Yeah, this was absurd for Conan, and this is one of the early hands of heads up.
Ponikoff now seeing how much he can get. And Arthur's going, oh, you don't have a 7. You don't have a 7. I have to call this. You don't have a 7. Do you? Would Arthur want to take a shot here?
I don't think he wants to take a shot. I think it's hard to get away from it, and he's just going to call. The flush got there, or full house got there, which is unlikely. But this is just an unfortunate early hand for Arthur Conan.
Feels like my poker game, where just like no matter what I do, oh, what happens now? What's that run out? Why? How did that in the world happen?
See, that's the way guys like you and I think. We think there's a monster under every bed. So when there's any run out there, oh, they made those hands. I always think, oh, he's had to make that hand. An empty seat, I think, would make that hand. So, yeah, there's not a monster under every bed. I do think we will see, again, another value bet here for Ponikoff's. Nope.
No. Wow, but what a hand that was. And, Conan still has almost 90,000 from the 100K. He's got to be fortunate just to have lost that much.
Well, with the board being that straight.
Correct.
And I don't know if he would have called another.
And it got more dangerous as it went on. Yeah.
I don't know if he would have called the river.
Ace-9 suited now for Arthur Conan. Maybe going to take that down. Again, the blinds at 250, 500. They'll be at 3-6 in a minute or two, so we'll catch up.
All right, Conan's from France, Ponikoff's is from Latvia.
Mm-hmm.
Do they border each other, those two countries?
No.
Good, because most Americans don't know any geography. They don't even know American geography. But that was a quick no from you. Okay.
Yeah.
How many nations might be between the two? Like, what's would it be like 3 or 4? I have no idea, actually. It's off the top of my head.
Yeah, I would guess it would be 3 at the most.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of small countries. There's big countries there, too, So that would take up, if indead Spain were next to France, which it is. That's a big leap. Yeah. That's a big leap. And Latvia, it could be Latvia. It could be way up there. But
I've never been to Latvia. Have you been to Latvia? I've never been to Latvia.
Not been to Latvia. No, the Tour de France did not go to Latvia the year I did the Tour de France. So.
Oh, okay.
We went into Switzerland, just in Liechtenstein, just went to England. That was a good year. Anyway, back to action here in the real world.
Well, no action in this hand.
So
far.
let me tell you about my life then. No action. A couple of tens. He's either the king queen. Right now, the queen playing. For Alex Ponikoff, where things have been going his way today. Took a little longer for Ponikoff.
By the way, I'd like to say hello to the chat. I was, I haven't done a live stream since the late 70s, and I forgot that chat now exists. We had no chat then.
It was a long time to send the mail back
we didn't even have mail. We would put the message in the bottle and throw it into the river, and of course the river doesn't go anywhere, so it never got to anybody. But I will engage a little with the chat with you all. I hope you're all out there enjoying this championship match for a World Series bracelet, and we will have a first-time bracelet winner here in the 10K Heads Up.
Arthur Conan, Alex Ponikoff. Ponikoff also made a lot of money this week already in other events. And do you think this is? The pandemic made us stay home. It made us play poker at home, but this could be a new type of boom or a sea change for how poker is going to be played in the future, where you can have this World Series played around the world at the same time.
Well, I think the pandemic sped up the clock on the World Series moving online. So I think we'll always have it live as long as we can have it live. But you see the possibilities when, if for some reason you can't have it live, or even if you can have it live, to have so much, the online just brings in so many more people from some other parts of the world who can't make it to wherever the live venue is. So I think now going forward, as we had this year, we'll have a combination of a lot of live and a lot of online, and then the World Series Live also will still try to move to Europe and to Asia and so forth.
But you're never going to have an online World Series of Poker main event with 2-hour levels online. I mean, none of that's
anything is possible. And right now, obviously, the live World Series of Poker is the main event, and there could be some dystopian world in the future, or any type of world in the future, where the online thing is actually the World Championship. Certainly,
which they tried to make it last year, and then there were changes that were made and decisions were made, and it worked out where we ended up with a live ish World Series of Poker. So it will be interesting to see how it does unfold throughout. Pocket jacks for Ponikoff here.
Not much for Conan.
No.
And by the way, Stephen Lube in the chat. Yeah, Rivers. You're right. Okay, everything I say is not going to be correct. So I meant to say a lake instead of a river. Rivers do go someplace. Okay, I live in Los Angeles where the LA River goes no place. It's a piece of concrete that people throw Cheetos bags into, all right? There's never any water in it.
And I live in Northern California, and all our water comes here to Southern California.
But it never makes it to the LA River.
No, it doesn't.
So, yes, you are correct. And BCF0331, you claim I was on a Hustler stream a few weeks ago. No, the last stream I did was 1969, the Jamie Farr Poker Classic in Toledo, and I did that stream.
That was a ladies' golf tournament, by the way. Ace-King suited against Ace-King off now.
So do you prefer to have the 2 flush draws, or do you prefer to have the Ace-King suited as far as who's got a better chance to? Who's got a better chance here to not chop the pot?
His favored is Conan, and the 4 flush is minimal. I'd rather have the Ace-King of spades.
Okay, I'm asking you because there is a correct answer to that, and you are correct. You would rather have the 2 suited cards, but the other one has 2 flush possibilities, so that kind of confuses.
But it diminishes it when you know that. You know the math. Yeah. All right. So anyway, a big bet from Ace-King suited. Ponikoff pondering. I mean, he's not going away, so it's one or the other, Do I want to end it here? Does he want to get fancy? Does he want to be a flash in the pan? Does he want to get this close to a bracelet and then get beaten? No, he does re-raise. And this is just going to go step by step by step. When's the all-in step come? After this
on the 9-bet. I think a 9-bet is now.
9-bet then
a 9-bet is allowed in Heads Up. Yeah, they might not get it all in right here. And Conan, of course, with the shorter stack, he's got to be concerned that maybe he is up against aces or kings. So he might opt to see a flop.
This would be interesting at some point. You got to wonder what's in the gut. What feel do you have? It could be any big pocket pair at this point. On the other side, there is an all-in from the ace-king suited, and this might chase Alex away. Good luck, he says. So there is a call. Ace-king suited against ace-king off. Likelihoods of a chop, and yeah, there will be a chop pot. So
will there be? There could be a
spade,
and it's
could be a spade.
Brutal.
It is not a spade. Both of them, yeah. Both of them glad that went the way it did. And now ace-king suited again for Arthur Conan.
Well, I don't think we're going to reach 5 bets on this.
Probably will not.
Pre-flop.
No, 1 bet and a fold. So, but yeah, dicey. I mean, when you now these guys, they're in a different mode. Before, it was like, okay, if I can make it to get close, 1 step closer to the bracelet, you know, I'm good. You know, I'm happy about that. But now, I mean, they're 1 hand away potentially from a bracelet. And that could change the whole body chemistry and how you react and you know how aggressive you want to be.
Yeah, I still think. I know it's a bracelet.
No, I'm right.
Yeah. No. When you're 24, 29, you know, when I was in my 20s, you know, I couldn't wait actually to get to 30. I actually, you know, I just figured I'd be smarter when I got older. I was wrong. Like I thought when you
I was wrong.
I mean, I thought when you're 30, you're twice as smart as when if you're 25, you're twice as smart as when you're 12. And I thought when you're 50, you're twice as smart as when you're 25. You should be, but I didn't get smarter. In fact, no. So
I think life experience equates to smarter. You know, it's that old thing. If I knew then what I know now. You know,
I still, if I could freeze myself at any age, it would have been age 7 or 8. Besides the fact there's no problems, I do believe I was smarter at 7 or 8 than I have been at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Are you talking relative to what's around you, or are you talking about total intellect?
Total intellect, making good decisions. Do I want to go play kickball? Yeah, let's go play kickball.
Okay, well, those are easy.
So they're easier decisions, but I think I made smarter decisions as a kid than I did as an adult. And we don't even have to go into the personal mistakes as an adult. I don't want to go into that. I just, in general, I just think I was smarter at 7 and 8. So I think they're not thinking, there's no pressure, there's no bracelet. They're just playing poker, and it's just carefree and footloose and fancy.
Right. Okay. And if you are watching the chat, our Nightbot coming up with a very good point. And I don't want to open a can of worms here, but we are on a delay. We have to be on a delay, gaming rules and all like that, and also for the players' sake. So not a big delay, but if you're watching somebody's stream that has this live, don't share the spoilers. That's just uncool, So, yeah, there might be spoilers out there. Just don't go there. And you can be our friends. Thank you. 6 on the turn. Conan overcomes the ace high so far of Alex. Six, 4 is good with the deuces on board. Much needed pot for Arthur Conan. Alex going to the red zone again in his thought process. 1,200.
I think this is a pretty quick call and move on.
There is a call, and there is the win. So, do you think they get wrapped up in the bracelet thing? I don't know what they. I mean, Alex, obviously, he gave us an insight to who he is, and he understands the, gestalt of the World Series of Poker and what it means in the poker world and what a bracelet means and all like that. But you can get wrapped up in, wow, a bracelet winner, and you're in the history books of all time, and I know you've mentioned it before, where they're just kind of young guys who are going, but
Yeah, it's hard. You can't get into their mind. And even Alex, in the course of 2 interviews with us, contradicted himself. It didn't mean a lot. It did mean a lot. So I don't even know what to
I
believe.
think in one interview he did that.
Yeah, I don't even know what to believe. I think actually Adrian Mateos told us that, it's actually probably 60-40 as far as money and the bracelet, 60 for, I forgot which one was a 60-40. But I think he was being honest that at this point, 60 for the money. And he wants to get bracelets, and he still told us the money is important.
Hasn't it always been that way with poker players if you really drilled down on them? I mean, why are they in the game, right?
Yeah.
They're in the game for money.
Yeah. So it became, as Doyle used to say, we didn't, I'd have 25 bracelets, so I knew they were important back then.
Right.
Because they were just playing the cash games, and they didn't think the bracelets were important. So that has changed in the culture a bit. The bracelet chase has become more important. It's hard to get multiple bracelets. For instance, Alex Adrian had 3. He was trying to get to 4. Actually, there's a bunch of people with 4, but it's just hard to get up in there. So some people do like to do the bracelet hunting thing and try to get multiple bracelets, but for most of them, it's the money.
And because of the nature of the World Series and because of how it all happened, I mean, it is just a bunch of guys who got together originally. So the history of the World Series is, how can I say, not always exact, maybe. It might be unknown. But so there's more, research certainly in the modern times and numbers of people paying attention. But I believe that Mateos supplanted Dominic Nietzsche as the youngest 3 bracelet winner guy. And then Dominic won a 4th after the age that Phil Ivey won his 4th. So it's pretty close. He and Mateos are pretty close in age. And Mateos would not even have beaten Dominic had he won the bracelet today anyway by a couple of months. But Ivey, the youngest to win 4 bracelets, one of the guys going to win their first. And I mean, talk about bracelets and the old guys and not caring about the bracelets. I had heard a story about the guys let Slim Preston kind of win, Amarillo Slim win, they kind of voted him in almost because he was better with the media, which turned out to be a good decision.
Doyle didn't want to deal with the public stuff, and so they say, oh, yeah, we got down to a few players. Amarillo, you're Mr. Slick.
World Series.
You're Mr. You got the great expression. So, yeah,
that might have been their best poker decision ever to have Slim win that. I mean, he was a semi-regular on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and he put poker in America's lingo very early on back then. So
he's one of actually among the players who have 4 bracelets. He has 4. A lot of guys from back there. Puggy Pearson is another one with 4. A guy named Lakewood Louie, who we've never been able to track down. If you're Lakewood Louie, you're like Daniel Soltis. Maybe you're, if you don't have a last name, I don't think you want to be found. And Bill Boyd won stud bracelets the first 4 years, and they got rid of the event. It was 5-card stud, and nobody could beat him. And one of those 4 years, he was the only entrant.
not the Bill Boyd from Boyd Gaming.
No, this is a different Bill Boyd. But I don't know how you win a bracelet just if you risk 10,000 and nobody else shows up. You win a bracelet.
Of that event,
if that really happened, I can't believe that really happened. But
it seemed to have happened.
But if you look at the books, they say 1 entrant that year. I could even have won then if there's just 1 entrant.
You might have chopped.
I might have chopped with myself. Jeez.
Ace on the end for both. Speaking of chop.
And Arthur Conan's Ace-6 is going to be best. Or is it?
No.
I wanted you to go down.
No, Ace, Queen,
Jack, Jack. I was trying to see if I could lead you down the wrong river.
There's a raise and a call. So, yeah, they will chop it up. And we will not sing. Promise you.
And now you put it into my head.
I know.
Plus, maybe he paid me to sing.
You can't be bought. You know that.
No, I can. And how much money can the Stapes have?
Yeah, it'd be a waste. Well, this could be fun. This bottom pair, though, for Alex with the Jack. Queen 10. Lots of possibilities as well.
Gut shot right now for Arthur Conan.
$3,000 now from Alex from his bigger stack. I'm not sure if they played the two semifinals because of the World Cup soccer rule, you know, where you don't want to know what's going on with.
No, yeah, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. I don't think that's. They didn't do that.
Conan, open-ended flush draw for Alex. So we'll see some money go into the middle here. 9,000 in the pot right now.
And that 7 also gave a gut shot for Alex, along with his leading pair of 8s, and now his hand is going to hold up.
Nobody bet the turn. Just because I mentioned that they would. Playing pretty close to the vest so far. There is the bet of 11-4. That's a hefty wager on the end with the worst hand. Hand charts going through the mind of Ponikoff. But the 9 was already there on the flop, and Alex was putting chips in. Yeah. Little Elke avatar, GGPoker ambassador, is he? And a fold. So a nice bet from Arthur Conan as he gets a little closer to evening up. And it's like Darvin Moon lying on the end, running hot.
Well, you took the pot, so that counts for running hot.
I guess so.
The chat talking a little about the staking here, as both these players actually sold a reasonable amount of their 10K buy-in. Arthur Conan sold 65% of his action to 9 stakers at 1.2 markup, and Alex sold 40% at a 1.7 markup to 24 stakers. So a good investment from a few dozen people there is going to come home.
Do you like knowing that? I mean, there were so long, and just a little behind the scenes for the folks here is that, you know, for us when we began the World Series in the aughts, where they really didn't want us to mention online poker, and B, you were not going to talk about staking or anything like that because for the uninitiated, it could have evil repercussions and all like that. But do you care one way or another if you know guys are selling action? Or?
Just for a matter of fact, I think it's interesting to know, you know, who's playing for themselves, who has, you know, 50 stakers, because they have their friends and family doing it. Just, it's interesting either way. Yeah, we avoided staking back, you know, for the mass audiences, and there's no reason to get into staking when you're talking, you know, the main event and
right.
the ESPN audience. But staking is routine, and it's as routine as day now for all these people.
It always has been, I imagine, with the guys. Yeah.
If you can't make it in tournament poker unless you have backers. Most years you're going to lose. You're going to run through cold spots where if you didn't have people supporting you, you're going to run out of all your money. So yeah, I like to know the information. It's interesting to know. I'm playing at 25K at the World Series, which I never would play otherwise, and I'm going to be 100% staked. And your check is not clear yet.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I didn't think you had that much money.
Venmo. I'll just send you a good bottle of wine. We'll call it even. Ace Jack against King 9. Arthur Conan flops middle pair. Takes the advantage.
You know, I used to go to when Trader Joe's still had the old price stickers on, you know, like supermarkets would put the price on top of the can, you know, so they used to put the prices until about 20 years ago on their wines. And so I would buy like a $5.99 wine, which is generally what I'm going to buy, and I could really with a little marker could put a 2 or a 3 or a 4 in front of the 5, and I take it over to somebody's house and I feel bad. Oh, I forgot to take the thing off. Yeah, and they see that I brought them a $35 wine, $45 wine.
You're like Jerry Seinfeld, who used to cut the Levi's tag
That's
measurements
different.
out of his waistband to show a smaller waistband
That's
than he really was.
That's because he was vain. I'm just trying to. I was actually proving a point that they would. Oh, look at this is a nice hand developing here.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, anyway, but I was just trying to have them think. Look, you're drinking a $35 bottle of wine or a $45 bottle of wine. And by the way, they thought it then tasted like a $35 bottle of wine instead of a $5 bottle of wine.
That's different. Why did you feel you had to be thought of higher that you would have to change the price tag?
I was doing a social experiment. I would tell them afterwards. By the way,
social experiment. Yeah. Gotcha.
All right, so right now in this hand, we have a pair of nines and a gut shot for Arthur Conan, and nothing came in on the river. So I don't need to go any further, but the pair of nines are the best hand.
And Alex had a good shot as well.
Yeah, so it just was a lot of possibilities coming. Nothing came. And Arthur, I think, hoping just to get the showdown here. And I would think that Alex also just wants to get the showdown.
Yeah, exactly. Open ace-jack is good. It's not.
He's thinking about something.
Redlining again. Wow.
He's thinking about something.
Interesting. Over 34,000 from Alex now with the worst of it.
That's just an interesting sizing. I mean, you would think a pot size bet would do it if he was trying to bluff. He just bet twice the pot.
Well, this situation was reversed earlier, and Arthur got Alex to fold, and now Alex gets Arthur to fold. What a bet by Alex on the end.
Very nice play, and he did want to call, and
sure.
he got him off the type of hand he figured he had, a one-pair hand. That's tough to call in that situation. And they're just going back and forth right now with a little playful talk.
That's your favorite part. I know when you're playing in a charity event, you're a king of the chat, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I actually I'm disappointed that at the World Series online bracelet events at WSOP.com, they've taken away the chat because the chat apparently was too toxic and nasty. I would prefer playing with the chat. I would prefer playing where I could talk to somebody else. And I just think it's better. Again, if we just can't spend the rest of our lives pushing buttons anonymously. We do need to interact as human beings. So I wish we had at minimum a chat back. And I think in the future we're going to be able to see each other. And that's just going to be routine.
Bottom pair for Arthur. Nice draw for Alex now on the 3-4-5 flop.
You're both pretty happy with this flop, heads up. And both thinking that they got a good shot to take down this pot.
Anyway, two guys fighting for a World Series of Poker bracelet that comes with a lot of money, too.
Alex is not getting out of this pot. Even if he doesn't hit his straight, he might think that hitting the 6 or the 8 would be best, and it would be. And it is status quo. The pair of threes still good, and Ponikoff still with the up and down straight draw.
Both guaranteed almost 280,000. Top prize 466,000 and the gold bracelet. I think they mail the bracelet.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I remember one of my fun videos watching last year was Nathan Gamble opening up his second bracelet with his dogs, with his two dogs, and it was just a warm feeling. I do believe one of the dogs urinated on Nathan's right leg, and Nathan was so excited to get the bracelet. He not only did not notice it, but he urinated on his other dog's right leg. Touching moment.
Really? 17-6 now from Alex here. Conan with very bottom pair. And he's got to wonder if, has Alex been pushing him around a little more than he should take?
Well, again, he puts Arthur Conan in a tough position here. This is for 1/4 of his stack. He makes the call. Arthur's pair of threes are still good, but now, obviously all overcards to a pair of threes out there now with the run out, and then a wheel has come in as well. Unlikely that either one has a deuce. Actually, it's more than unlikely. Neither one does have a deuce.
Well, we know that.
I have my eyes closed during this hand, so I don't know that. Look,
oh, okay.
Okay.
A Jack Link's
so I'm
hand.
just hearing. I'm just hearing your call, and I'm putting. Arthur's probably got like Jack 3, Queen 3 type of hand.
Well, with Arthur calling Alex's last foray, I'm thinking if Alex shies away a little bit here.
Is there a bet yet?
No.
Okay, so what do we? I'm going to put. They check.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pair of threes is going to win.
It's over. Nice pot.
What did Alex have? Like
Conan.
6-7 suited or something? What did Alex have? All right, I'm going to open my eyes for the next hand.
Conan now takes the lead in this bracelet final.
I do believe it's his first lead of this bracelet final.
Both with ace-queen here now.
Well, this shouldn't get as feisty as the ace-kings. But there'll be some feistiness.
They'll be feisty.
You know, Lon, I'm going to give you an odd stat.
Okay.
Latvia has the lowest male to female ratio in the world. That is true. For every 100 females in Latvia, there's only 85 males.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
How does that happen?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's a coin flip.
It's a lot of war.
But it's 100 to 85. I don't know. It's. I don't think it's even war related. But at 100 to 85, that's a pretty big gap. So, well, yeah. Actually, you might want to come with me. I really think yes.
2 wild and crazy poker guys, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got a shot.
We can up that ratio to 87 at least.
Okay, you don't understand how the ratios work. If just 2 of us go, that doesn't take the entire national ratio to 87
I just want to be in a
98.
room with 100 women. And then to be 2 more, it would be us, 87 to 100. Nice flop for ace-queen if they want to draw. 4,000 from the chip leader, Conan. This will test both players, the paired board and the overcard to their queen, which they just paired. So might be able to learn something about each other. Couple of clubs, couple of jacks, lots of paint. Check, check, 9 of hearts on the end.
I think it's going to check, check again. And I'll just sing inside my head. So much goes on.
You don't have to go there.
It's crowded in there. Trust me, there's a lot of
Probably
stuff.
trademarked anywhere. I don't know. We probably can't sing.
There we go. And there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we can move on with our lives.
Split it up. Yep. So Arthur Conan, 24-year-old from France. Both of these guys, I haven't heard specifically from Alex, but Arthur played at an earlier age, as they can do in a lot of places in Europe. So a little more early experience.
Yeah, Arthur started playing at actually Alex did start playing at age 18.
Okay.
They both started playing at 18, certainly online, and Arthur's younger brother also plays, 2 years younger, Marius, and they have a little Mizrachi Greenwood in them because they're both very good. They actually finished 1-2 at a WPT deep stack high roller in France 4 years ago. So they both have a lot of skills, and
well, Arthur was playing live early on, and he had a nice score that he really thought set the path for what he's on right now. He had a 45,000 euro score that set him up for future
when he could play
buy-ins.
live when he was 18. Yeah.
Pair of aces now for Alex. Not much out there for Arthur. Gold bracelet match, the finale of what has been quite an adventure. They stretched out the semifinals and finals from the early matches from maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that, and were able to push the final table back for your viewing pleasure and ours. And we'll be doing a similar type shows in the coming week. So later in the week, look for a couple of preview shows and highlight shows from the 5K main event, which you have, I'm not sure you still play today, but tomorrow might be the last day one. There's like 17 day ones.
A through
L.
A through
or
Q.
more.
L's
Q.
halfway through the
Alphabet,
alphabet,
right.
man.
Sorry.
Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I,
Just wanted to
J,
sing.
K, L, M, N, O, P,
Q.
Q. I told you. We
17.
talked about this.
All right.
You'll
One
always
Q.
know that Q, because of the GGP World Series main event, 17 flights, that Q is the 17th letter of the English alphabet.
All right. What was I talking about?
something.
Oh
about
yeah,
the-
you can still play tomorrow. There's maybe day Q tomorrow, and then day 2, and then late in the week or so we'll have some shows here on the GGPoker YouTube channel, and then in a week, same time we started today, we'll have the live final table. Norman and I will be here for the live final table for the main event, 5K online main event. Ace against the pair of 7s. A couple of aces for Panikov. Needs to get some chips back from Arthur.
Well, if he'll bet here, and I believe he will get called after he bets a river about 8 to 10,000. It's a slightly smallish bet. Oh, I got that one right.
Wow.
When's the last time that
What are the
happened?
odds?
8 to 10,000. He bet 88.71. I'm taking the rest of the day off. That's unbelievable.
Thank you.
I'm
Oh, the
all
chat
hooked
just
up.
went crazy.
Oh man, I'm all
Thank
hooked
you.
up.
So now does
I'm
nicely
so
done, sir.
excited. I'm so excited.
Who would have thought?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Kiss me, I'm Cuban.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh wow.
Oh, kiss me, I'm Cuban. Kiss me, I'm Cuban. Come
No,
on.
not
I
good.
said 8 to
If
10,000.
he gets bluffed off the hand, you get no kiss.
You get no kiss. What if Arthur check raises and bluffs him off the hand?
Yeah.
He's not gonna check raise. You think he was born yesterday? Check raise. Oh.
I don't play heads up.
I don't have no idea. Heads up. The only heads up poker he folded that one. The only heads up poker I've ever played, which a lot of people's played, is liar's poker with bills. I love playing liar's poker with dollar bills or $20 bills.
Do you seek the bills out?
Yeah, I used to have a friend of mine who, after we played very, like $2 limit poker, 1-2 poker, then he would play for 2 hours afterwards and lose like 100 or win 100 playing liar's poker and just with dollar bills. And he would actually, there's better bills. So he would ask me to, he'd look at my bills and say, I'm going to take those bills for the future because there's better bills that you can have better serial numbers.
So, who you shouldn't play liar's poker against. I mean, thinking about, because you can manufacture the hand, basically, male or female strippers. Wouldn't they be getting a lot of ones?
Yeah, and I don't even want to know where the ones have been. So I don't want to win those ones.
You wouldn't, because they have the best hand.
Anyway, that's the only heads up I've ever played in poker is liar's poker. By the way, liar's poker is a great game to teach anybody when you're just sitting in a train station in an airport waiting for a flight. It just passes time so great. It's a simple game. Everyone should play liar's poker.
But nobody has a wallet like yours. Your wallet barely folds.
Okay,
I don't know why
I got
you
a
said on.
smaller wallet now
because
what I did is I finally decided to put all the small bills in my. You don't want to see this.
No, that's what I'm talking about. You had every bill. I mean, the World Series, your wallet is
So
incredible.
I just have, if they rob me, they can rob me of the big bills here, and then I got all the little bills right here. These are all supposed to be with a paper clip, but the paper they gets too wide, and I got no paper clip.
If you don't respect how you carry your money, you don't respect money.
I respect money. That's a single.
Do you want to
That's
play
a
liar's
20.
poker right now?
That'd be disrespectful to a bracelet event.
Okay.
This hand, though, not much going on, so we could have done like a turbo liar's poker right here during this hand.
Give me a bill. No, I don't have my wallet nearby.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to stake you to play against me in liar's poker. But I tell a lot of false stories, so I should be good in liar's poker. I'm just mediocre.
Kiss me, I'm Cuban. You do know Cuban restaurants in New York. I'll tell you that. I will say that.
Well, my mother is Cuban, so I should know Cuban food.
Look at this. This is fun. Well, 4 on the turn Z. Did she cook a lot of Cuban food?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
She cooked ropa vieja. She cooked picadillos. She cooked arroz con pollo. Yeah, she was
Any chicken?
Huh? A lot of chicken. Arroz con pollo is chicken. Yeah, a lot of chicken. Yeah, Cuban food. Virtually, I don't say it's underrated, but you don't. There's not a lot of Cuban restaurants around the United States.
I don't know why either.
It's good
beautiful food.
That's good food. And it's the people's food.
Hmm.
So ace is up now for Conan, who had the better 4 with
Ace
the
is
ace kicker.
up. with the kings and the fours.
Yeah.
Don't use
Kings
it at your
on the
home game.
board.
That won't
Yeah,
fly
okay.
me up. Cuban restaurant in Manhattan on 9th that they roll cigars in the foyer as you walk in. You walk past the cigar roller. It's really nice.
In New York, the
Yeah.
Cuban restaurant
Yeah.
rolls. Oh. And it's better if you smoke cigars. I don't.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Well, this has taken a long time for what it is, and this is a great part about Heads Up. It's a mind battle, and it's a wonderful thing when you have it. But that paired board hurt things, and the river of flush draw really doesn't help that much.
When you river a flush draw, no, it doesn't help that much.
All right, so Ponikoff down to about 80,000 before his chips go in the middle here. Blinds at 500, 1,000. Ponikoff opens for the raise. 7 deuce suited. That would come along. Misses the flop, does Arthur Conan with the chip lead. Continuation bet with the ace-7, and not much reason for Arthur to stick around.
Zero reason, unless he simply wants to posture and, you know, give us an exciting hand. He decides to play prudently.
Daniel Solstice, I'm thinking, has moved into his jogging gear. He's out running it off, his loss.
You know, see, I don't know though if he's running towards his diner job, his toll stop job, or his marine biologist job. No idea what he does for work. He doesn't work. Who are we kidding?
No.
He's what was he, 25 years old and doesn't reveal anything? But he did make $150,000 today.
Not too shabby.
100. That's pretty good.
Obviously, his biggest live score, just as we mentioned, Daniel Soltis with 2 modest live cashes. Not sure about his online. Man of mystery. Congratulations. Nice finish for Daniel Soltis. So these 2 guys fighting for the bracelet, 280 grand to be a runner-up. So it's nice to have a little more in the back or front pocket, as it were, for you.
I was taught on a trip to Italy where I was working. I was working at a newspaper in Rome one summer, and the head of security met, and he came up to me. We were speaking for a couple of minutes, and after a couple of minutes, he handed me my wallet.
After a couple of minutes?
Yes. How'd you do that? He says, well, I'm going to teach you a lesson. Here in Rome, you don't, at that time, this is early 1980s, he says you don't want to carry your wallet back there. Carry your wallet, 1, in your front right pocket, which I then did for about 5 years, and 2, always put a rubber band around it. It makes it very hard to lift because of the tension.
Oh, the tension.
So I did that too for a while, and then I just couldn't do it any longer because my wallet got so big, it just looked like there's some growth on the
How many lira does it take to fit in a wallet for 100 US? I mean, it's
well, I'm saying for years after that, when I was then my wallet got worse in the US, and it was uncomfortable on my right, whatever. That
Why
thigh.
the right?
Huh?
Why the right?
Oh,
front pocket.
I had it in my right back pocket, so I just put it in my right front pocket. He didn't say left or right. I just put it in my right front pocket.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought there was a thing with how you walk next to people or something.
Oh, no.
Maybe so. King high good. Arthur Conan getting a little better card distribution so far.
So this when I watched the, here we go. Hoping just to take it down right here off this flop with nothing, queen high. But, they're playing a little more deliberately than I often see.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. Feeling each other out. Blind still low enough. 1K big blind. Though still very deep. But they do escalate quickly. And as mentioned, the blind levels actually were shortened from last year's Heads Up event. And it did create a lot of action in the early rounds.
Can't believe we'll get any action here on the river. I just got a feeling it's going to go check, check, and Arthur will take down the teeny pot.
Certainly Alex Ponikoff with a lot of chips in his stack as he's faced now with a bet of 37.50 from Conan.
I guess that's a value bet. Thinking king high is good. Actually, there's
I don't know.
hoping to get a call from like a queen or jack high. I don't see why you'd get a call from anything worse.
Sign of the 4.
And he
Arthur
did get a
Conan.
call.
Yeah, he did indeed.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
All right, so Ponikoff took a shot at it and maybe just kind of wanted to see what was going on there. Still was 70 or 80,000 before he put his chips in the middle. With ace king is Alex Ponikoff now. The Latvian talks with a smile on his face. There's the raise, and then Alex repops it to a cool 10,000. Jack 9, gotta love it sometimes, but not here. A little too much pressure from Alex Ponikoff, and he gets some chips back. But again, Conan with the bigger hand with the king-queen.
Hey, Wisco Baron, okay, I no longer have a rubber band around the wallet. I've stopped doing that. Now you're telling me that Lon must have a tough time getting Norman to buy dinner with that rubber band around his wallet.
Do you want me to take this?
Why don't you take this one?
Norman is a very generous man at dinner with the check, with the wine. I will tell you that, and that's going to be the last, what is it, November? Oh, with the main event. I can't. I've only got one more good thing to say about you this year on my clock.
Wow, you're using it all up pretty
Yeah.
early. You still got 3 months left, 4 months left?
The world is listening.
Okay.
So, yeah, Wisco Baron, he's good on the check.
It got so bad, Wisco Baron, at some point that not only would I only, because I knew I was going to be picking up the check, it seemed, not only would I only eat with Lon at drive-thrus, I insisted on drive-thrus, separate cars. He's much better company
Like
that way,
bridge
too.
toll, you go and pay. I want to pay for the guy behind me. I want to pay
That's
for the
always
guy.
fun when somebody does that, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that much anymore.
There's no live bridge toll takers anymore where I live. Pocket 4 is good here. Pocket 4s can't be super happy, but it's tough to play those small middling pairs. But that board check to him. Alex might want to take a shot.
Well, not as tough playing them, obviously, heads up. And again, if you play pocket 4s, like their pocket 5s, it changes your whole game.
Checks back.
Now, we talked about this earlier, and here is the bluff attempt from Arthur Conan.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to get a call here, and we will not get the bluff through. They're playing pretty deliberately, and as a couple people in the chat have mentioned, it's certainly possible that they're playing other stuff while they're playing this.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
It just amazes me
Yeah.
because it is, and we talk about the importance of the bracelet. People want to win bracelets. This is a 10K. This is a 10K, and it is the No Heads Championship online. And yet, if there's some good action elsewhere, that's one thing you can't do live. You can't be going between tables, play two different tables in the same card room.
Tell Jason and Daniel that.
That's
but
different.
Yeah.
That's different in tournaments. But yeah, you can leave your table for 2 hours and come back. But yeah, online you can do anything you want.
All right, pair of 6s for Alex, open-ended here for Arthur.
Yeah,
Okay,
pretty much of an action flop. Heads up here.
Absolutely. There's got a few chips in the middle. Yeah, that's a hefty bet.
And as I've talked about before, not only with the straight possibly out there, but Arthur, if he pairs his 7 or his 8, he might think that's the best hand. And it would be in this case.
$45,000 into $4,500 into $6,000 gets a call.
Pretty safe card for Alex's 6s with the ace kicker. No flush draw out there now. So I think he's going to fire. if he ever looks at his screen again and returns to this hand, and he does fire with more than 2/3 bet.
Yeah.
Gets the fold.
There you go. So Alex grinding it.
Almost even in chips. It's never been a big thing either way. No one with more than a 3-2 chip lead in this championship match.
So aces and fours for Arthur here. And guy brings up, the Danish Sausage brings up a point, you know. Maybe these guys are playing for a bigger amount of cash in another tournament.
That's doesn't seem likely. Because
it's a weekend, though. I mean, all the big tournaments are happening during the weekend, and Sunday's a bigger day, obviously. But
all right, if they can find another tournament which they're going to be winning $500,000, may the force be with them.
Ace 10 against Jack 10.
And by the way, if I had 5 or 10 or 20 stakers, and those stakers might want me concentrating on the most I could do at this tournament. That's all I'm telling you. I mean,
that's true.
They're investing in you. So if they're investing in you and you're doing something else, like even I know when people play online, we're at a card room, we watch ball games on the TV. I've seen, I've played online. We're watching guys watching ball games, and then they're switching to police pursuits, and they're doing action on the police pursuits. I'm not even kidding about that. Yeah, they've got prop bets going on the police pursuits. An over-under on one of the guys' hand. We have one every night. That's why we started to do it. You got an over-under on when they're handcuffed, and they have like three-way action. If you get the exact time, it like doubles the bet. So anyway, when you're online, there's a lot of distractions.
Have you ever thought about hanging out with a different group of people?
This is actually it just amazes me how an accomplished group of people can also be degenerates, because these are successful people, most of them.
And once they walk through those doors of the poker room, it's all over.
It's all different.
Yeah.
So
interesting. And that's what they want. That's what the poker room's there for.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be civil, but you want to get away from everything you walked away from.
Yeah, you get action. You have an action gene that you want to activate, and that's what the poker room does for you, as does a police pursuit.
Do you think we all have that gene? It's just a matter if it's tickled or not?
I believe almost everybody has that gene. I mean, I've talked about this before with friends of mine, that I believe that gambling is so almost innate in the human body that if you just took an 84-year-old woman who had been in isolation for 48 hours without eating, and you took her into a room and she had quarters, and all they had in the room was a vending machine with food and drink and a slot machine, she's going to the slot machine before she's feeding herself, okay? And she hadn't even ate for 24 to 48 hours, but you put the vending machine next to the slot machine, and bang, she's going to go to the slot machine first. That's my thought.
Interesting. Pair of aces. Arthur Conan getting that much stronger now as he takes a little bigger lead on Alex Ponikov's. And Norman, you mentioned that these guys are playing a little snug. What are they feeling? Are they leery of each other? I mean, there might be some information we don't know, obviously, but theory?
Yeah, again, first of all, I don't even know that they're playing fairly snugly, but they're also playing very, very deliberately. I have no idea we're playing this deliberately at this thing. We haven't had a lot of big spots. We haven't had a lot of big bluffs.
Yeah.
Right now, Conan with the better of it with a 2-1 chip lead, both seeking their first bracelet. I can't crawl into their heads. I have no idea why they're playing the way they're playing.
It's been very interesting so far, and the blinds are going up when we come back, and so the action is going to heat up as well. Alex Panikov, as you see, 66,000 with ground to make up, but a very difficult opponent in Arthur Conan. And so we're going to step away for a few minutes, back in just a short time. This is the gold bracelet event of the 10K Heads Up Championship on GG Poker. Back in a bit.
Hi, I'm the new Daniel Negreanu, and I'm the old Daniel Negreanu. We both represent online poker sites. We both love Hold'em. I mean, we're basically the same person. Absolutely, man. I used to love watching you play, the way you would read people, call out their hands, and then, of course, call anyway. Oh, stop. I'm blushing. But old Daniel, man, I gotta ask, man, what's up with this look you got going on here? You tired or something? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of all these freaking beats I've been taking. It's freaking ridiculous. Look at this motherfucking hand. This motherfucker's calling the freaking turn with this piece of shit. hand. Fucking absurd. Whatever, I don't even know why I'm so upset. I mean, bad beats, they're just part of the game, right? I mean, they don't really have to be. You see that? I took a bad beat, then GG Care took care of some of my losses. Hashtag, thanks GG. You think maybe I could borrow that laptop and play a little while? No, definitely not. Just say GG to that site you're playing on over there. You just think you're so clever. Nope, just a good read. GG, poker star.
Elkie was waiting to come back to the final table.
Radar hold stings. Oh my God.
Michael Adamo is the best.
Welcome back to this WSOP GGPoker finale of the 10K Heads Up Championship. Arthur Conan, Alex Ponikoff battling for their first ever World Series of Poker bracelet. And you see that Conan with the advantage right now, blinds at 6 and 1200. And it's not going to get any easier for Alex at this point because the blinds are going to catch up real quick.
Eventually they'll catch up. He's got a 2-1 chip deficit right now, so he's trying to beat the clock on that. He's trying to beat the clock on winning his first bracelet before he turns 30 in 10 days. Actually, if this match lasts 2 weeks, he would be 30 years old when he wins that bracelet, but it probably won't last that long.
He could still win the main next week.
That's right. He can win the main. So that's the bracelet still before his 30th birthday. And this would be his second. Then if he won it again, he could win this online in another 2 weeks, if it lasts that long.
Well, there are other events coming up, too. There's a Lucky Sevens coming up. There's a Crazy Eights event coming up. You know, you buy in for $888 or $777.
Yep.
Main event buy-ins. You've got several events. Check the GGPoker WSOP bracelet schedule. 33 bracelets given away in this stretch. And, of course, the big 5K main event bracelet will be given away next Saturday, West Coast time we're talking. And Norman and I will be here to bring you that final table. It's 1700 GMT, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Speaking of the Crazy Eights, when Arthur Conan went to his first World Series when he turned 21, what year was that? In 2018. He finished 15th in the WSOP Bracelet Event, the Crazy Eights $888 buy-in for $35,000. So that's a good first experience for him on his first trip to Las Vegas.
And a good end of the run out for Conan here. So he picks up the straight. Bigger stack. King 10 of hearts. Not a great looking board for Alex to do anything on. Yeah, and he does check it. And Conan will put some chips out here. What do you think? 3,100?
I don't know. I would put none out. I put none out here. Why? I mean, I don't know all the. Oh, she's about 4,200.
42. Yeah.
I would have put none out. I can't even explain why I put none out, except I'm risk adverse.
He's already checked you. You wouldn't have put none out. You would have put something out with a straight. Even you would have put something out.
Well,
None? Okay.
I guess I'd put out 4,000. I
200.
mean, he does have this. I mean, he essentially has the nut hand. It's the second. Oh, look at this play. See, that's another reason I'd put none out.
Because it's Alex.
But what the heck is this?
This is interesting. This is out of the blue. Is he repping Arthur's hand?
Well, I think he's repping Arthur's hands. He's even repping better than Arthur's hand. I mean, you know, Arthur's got essentially what the third nuts. There's a 10 high. A 10-8 gives you a higher straight. An 8-5 gives you a higher straight. But I think he is repping essentially a straight. And I think it's just going to be a call for Arthur. I don't think he's folding. I don't think he's raising. He's not thinking of raising.
A bold move from
It's a call or a
Monacoffs.
fold. Yeah. Yeah, this is what happens when you put out a Constable bluff.
You would have just put nothing out.
You put nothing out, and then you don't put yourself in this position. Now, Alex's problem, I'm going to tell you this very quietly because I don't, Alex's problem is that he's making this bet. He's got no blockers. He's got no blockers.
Oh, did you say no blockers?
I don't want to. I'm just kidding.
You said no blockers.
Yeah, I don't ever want to say that for real. But anyway,
yeah, there is the call, and it's a mystery. What Alex was thinking about there.
He obviously put Arthur on a weaker hand, like a one-pair hand.
Yeah.
And then Alex turned over his hand like it was the winner. The way he turned over that King 10, he says, "I got the winner.
He has
Send
no
me the
choice
chips."
on how the hand gets turned.
Oh, I think you have a choice.
He doesn't have turnover quickly because I have a hand type turnover, or slow rolling because I'm Sean Deeb against
sometimes
Mike
if you turn over your hand in a certain way, the other person thinks they're beat. He had turnover equity. He turned that over like I had a winner, and then Arthur would. Okay, you play a different online game than I do.
Ace 5 against Jack 5. Paired board, Arthur with the best of it so far.
And Arthur now with the biggest chip lead of this final, more than 3-1, as he just a really inopportune time there for Ponikoffs to go with the big bluff.
Yeah, the bluff's really getting the worst of it for Alex so far. He's kind of been active on that front, and now Arthur, that's going to be something in the back of his mind. Is he bluffing now? There's a little more to think about. If your opponent is capable of anything, and Arthur now has seen that from Alex, maybe a little more to worry about.
Well, you're going to, again, the old thing is that if your bluffs aren't getting caught, you're not bluffing enough.
Right.
So Ponikoff's he had a misread on Arthur's hand right there. He put him on a one-pair hand, I'd imagine. Figured he could get him off him with that that check raise, and he just had a misread, and he got caught.
Now, and a hole. Now a check on the end from Arthur with the best of it, a check back. And ace high will take that pot. So the blinds at 6 and 1,200 at pocket nines, just in time for Ponikoff.
Coincidentally, and you spoke about this earlier, when you play Liar's Poker, King Deuce, heads up, is the lowest ranked hand in Liar's Poker, in which you have an advantage over the other player. I'm just telling you that. People don't know that about Liar's Poker as well.
It's taken me 18 years to play back at you, and I'm playing back at you right now.
Lord.
Don't patronize me.
Can we just do this privately?
King Deuce, not a favorite here against the pocket
Against a
nines.
random hand, it's going to be a favorite. So it's not going to be a favorite every hand, but it's the lowest ranked hand in which you got,
You're expected to be a favorite heads up.
Yeah.
And Arthur has read the same article. And this
Well,
is
he has.
exactly what Alex wanted.
Thank goodness for Alex.
Alex, want to go with it here?
Oh, well, you know, we're at the point where he could go with it. I think that would be a little loose
what
and
does he
fast
leave
with his
himself
stack.
to call, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty good flop for Alex's pair of nines.
Mm-hmm.
Only one overcard. And let's see how he plays it. He is down now to just over 20 big blinds.
Pot size plus a little bit. Jack high flop, as you mentioned. Alex has to like it. 85, 90%. And
No,
Arthur
not
has
that
to be
high.
careful not to get too anxious to close this out. He will get into trouble.
Well, he floated that flop.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, I was the first in my family to double float. I'm pretty proud of that.
Wow, that's ahead of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, the people didn't even use the terminology when I was doing it.
But they thought you were double floating.
I was double floating.
I don't even know what that means.
Anyway, this time we get the check from Ponikovs, and let's see what Arthur wants to do with Squadouche.
Well, he's seen Arthur is willing to put chips in the middle, and Arthur does it again. $28,000 behind into a 31,000 chip pot. Now he's using his bluff timing. He does this before. Let it go to the red line, bring out a bluff.
Yeah, it's easy to use your bluff timing when you're just going to the refrigerator.
That's true. When you're late coming back. All right, so the board pairs on the end. The spades come home.
Backdoor spades. 9-10 missed, and of course Ponikovs has 2 nines anyway, so it's unlikely that Arthur had that hand, and he is just going to be a bluff catcher here. Arthur might say, I'm going to put you in for your last 20,000, and that's a tough call to make.
I don't know if he'd want to do that.
He did
That's
not.
a check. Yeah, and the pocket nines hold up. Not too terrible a board for Alex, and he was able to get a few chips off his nemesis at this moment. So up to about a little over 59,000 now for Ponikov. 4-5 against the Jack-5. A raise from Alex.
And the blinds have just gone up on this hand to 800, 1,600.
Jack, bottom pair for Conan. That is not a flop that 4-5 wanted to see.
He'll take a shot at it in
Yeah.
position. And I think he's going to get a call. Well, I know he's going to get a call. Well, I don't know anything. But if I knew something, I would think.
First thing you'd know, he'd get a call. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Two flush draws out there. You know what they call that, Lon?
Double floating.
Oh, you're close. Double flush draw.
Double
Nothing
flush draw.
fancy. Nothing fancy. I mean, something when we're talking in lingo, we call it a DFD. So you got to learn DFD. But it's a double flush draw. Yeah, just
That's why
just
you
remember.
want offsuit cards, right?
No, it's a double flush board on the board. Do you understand? You have to have suited cards for to
Well, I'm
have...
saying to start with.
No.
Oh, okay.
You have to have 2 suited cards in your hand to hit a double flush board because there's going to be 3 total of 1 suit out there. Oh, God. This is basic. This isn't GTO. This isn't ROI. This isn't ICM. This is so basic. You have to have 2 suited cards in your hand if you're going to hit a double flush board. And
Wow,
no
and
limits
that
the game
got
you
through.
play. It did get through.
What a bluff.
Well, now
He's been
we're
doing
playing
that.
poker.
Yeah. That's exactly what Alex has been doing. That one got through. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that Arthur folded. But, yeah, a lot to be worried about. Alex showed a lot of aggression. Alex flops open-ended. Maybe the tide turning toward Latvia. one of Latvia's 85% of the population.
No, okay.
Sorry, no.
You with numbers. I'm never going to tell you the stat again. For every 100
There's
females
85.
in Latvia, there's 85 men or 85 males. So it's a big disparate difference. Now he's one of 85% of the population. Now you're confusing anybody in the GGPoker universe, which is most of Earth.
They're probably not speaking English, so I'm good.
I don't know what to say. Well, now, we had open-ended for Ponikovs on the flop, and then the perfect card to give Conan an open-ended on the turn. I'm excited. Why am I holding my head?
I was wondering about that.
Well, because you're bothering me with the number problems and the stuff
You
you're
were
saying.
talking about 85% of the men.
Don't say number again. I wasn't talking about 85% of the
players.
men. Okay, here I'll give you a stat you can easily learn. 70% of Earth is covered by water. The other 30% is a Mardi Gras of morons such as yourself. Board paired on the river.
Mardi Gras. Nine-8, good here. Alex can bluff with the best hand here.
Well, Alex already checked, I believe.
Well, I mean, it's
yeah, he
back
could
over
have.
the top.
He could have.
Back over the top.
Yeah, if he was 85% of the Latvian population by himself, he could have.
Ooh.
And here's a bluff that we'll get through.
Fold, yep.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Arthur can play that game as well. Small pocket pair for the Frenchman now against a 7-9 for the Latvian. Gonna raise.
Here's the odd thing about poker. 7 plus 9 is 16. Okay? 3 plus 3 is 6.
You're gonna go back to math.
Well, 16 is better than 6, so I've never understood why the pocket 3s are better than a 7-9. 7 plus 9 is 16.
Shove answer from Arthur. With a small pocket pair. Bold. He knows Alex is getting a little frisky, and he wants to put him back in his cage. There's a shove with ace-10 or 7. Think about it just for effect and fold. So now we're getting to those stack sizes and those blinds where they feel they have to shove to get the other person off the hand.
Do you remember the Johnny Moss, Nick the Greek heads-up match back in
They had this
at
exact
Binion's?
set of hands, didn't they?
Oh, there was a king 3 against a 6-7
Yeah.
on day 3. That was played in like not the lobby of Binion's, but publicly at
They
Binion's.
play it on the boardwalk out front, or
No,
what?
they didn't
was
play it out front. They just played it in, anybody could walk by and look at these, two codgers playing heads up against each other.
I thought they played it outside. Was that too hot?
Yeah, they played that one main event final table outside, and it was too hot.
No, but I thought the original was to kind of draw people who were passers-by. Okay.
But I thought you might be right. I thought it was inside the casino to draw people to come take a look at it. Johnny with the, Johnny Moss just had too much clothing on to play outside, I believe. I mean, you just get hot. But you might be right. I'll have to look that up. Both these players could be playing outside right now, as you know.
That's true. Ooh, a 9 for the 9 tray of Alex. A 5 for Arthur Conan. A bracelet on the line. Almost $500,000 in winnings for the champion. 280,000 almost for runner-up. And who remembers runners-up?
Well, the runners-up remember themselves, but nobody.
Oh, that's true. Gutter now for Conan.
Points well taken, though, when Roger Bannister. Oh, there's the 3-9, so no gutter.
Mm-hmm.
When Roger Bannister ran the first sub-4-minute mile, which was a big deal, I finished second, and nobody knows that.
Second where?
Just, you know, your lack of emotional support is remarkable.
And that was when?
1994, whatever.
54. Nice run out for Alex. Picks up decent pot as he inches his way back to getting even. And not that far up with the blinds increasing as well. 8 and 16 right now. Jack 4 just calls. And a middle pair for Arthur. Bottom pair for Alex. I mean, for Heads Up, the guy's been connecting with the board a lot.
That's supposed to be, you know, maybe why this is why Antonio Esfandiari doesn't play poker anymore. He says it's hard to make a pair. Well, where the hell has he been? It's not that hard to make a pair.
I recognize that name.
Antonio. I don't know how to spell the last name.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they have been connecting with, you know, we've seen middle pair, bottom pair a lot.
Last I saw Antonio, he had green hair in a picture. And I can only think, based on his history, he lost a bet.
That's got to be a bet loss.
Yeah.
Or he's in the middle of a prop bet he's trying to win.
Could be. Pair of sevens. Good right here for Alex. But does he believe? Probably been keeping track of Arthur's history in his head at least, and he does fold. And so Arthur getting a few bluffs through on Alex now.
I thought he had didn't Arthur have a pair of sevens and Alex had a pair of fours? Or was it the other way around? Well, now you got me confused.
I thought Alex was ahead. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But we're both often wrong together. Here, only one of us is wrong.
We'll let the chat decide. Again, they both connect with the board. Oh, Arthur crushing. Another diamond, though, out there.
Does Alex have a diamond?
Neither.
Neither?
Both. Don't.
Yeah. Well, next time you order tomato soup, let me know.
Not shy about betting. With the trip sevens, Arthur brings 55-19.
How's your Aunt Molly doing?
Can we just call the whole thing off?
Now having a conversation for ourselves. Say the GGPoker viewership conversation. All right. All right, just to be clear here, Alec has the Jackson sevens. Correct?
Yes.
Incorrect. Arthur has the Jackson sevens.
Oh, would you say
correct?
Arthur?
No,
Arthur's
sevens.
got his tree sevens,
okay.
strip sevens. Yeah, I thought you. Sorry.
No, I was right. You were right when you
were
said
both
correct.
wrong. Yeah. All right, 13-7 from the trip sevens, and now with top pair with the two sevens on board, can Alex get away from this?
Yeah, I'd be calling here.
Now, he's done this and brought a raise. He's stepped in it before. He's got to be a little more careful now. Doesn't have the stack to play with the number, sheer number, and the blinds where they are. But we've seen him bluff here.
Again, I just think it's a call or a fold he's thinking about. He makes the call.
Yeah,
he's going to lose the hand.
Yeah, tough one there for Alex Ponikoff. Arthur Conan with a nice pot. Yeah, running good there with the two sevens that came. Blinds up 1 and 2,000 now.
And that reduces Alec into the essentially the red zone, down to about 20 bigs. Arthur Conan with the best of it, grinding his way perhaps to his first bracelet.
Flops a gut shot. Pair of nines, which is middle pair here for Alex.
It'll be a double gutter for Arthur Conan.
Oh, true. Standard click, 2,000, half the pot. Another heart. Alex likes that he has the ace of hearts. Still the lead.
Yeah, he's got to believe his pair of nines are good right now. And now with the draw to the nut flush, got to be a little more comfortable. I don't think he's, yeah, there we go. Smallish bet.
Oh, wow, and a fold from Conan.
That surprised me. He's getting the, I think he's
gonna
getting the
get in
right
trouble.
pot odds there
Yeah.
to make the call, and he decides to stay away, and it's the right decision probably.
And Arthur rewarded for that correct fold with ace queen off against jack 5 suited. And there is the ace on the flop for Arthur Conan. One spade for Alex. Check to him. Check over to Arthur. And Arthur just hoping that Alex has something. And he does. The wheel draw.
Blank on the turn. Arthur solidifies his position. It's checked to Arthur Conan. Comfortable his ace high. Pair of aces is good right here, so he will fire again.
Open for a bet and call. A little bigger this time, 6,000. 6,000, very meaningful to Alex right now at this point. Does he want to give it up? Try to hit the river?
Yeah, I don't think so. He, with two cards to come, you know, he had the gut shot, and he had, if Arthur didn't have an ace, the jack or the 5 could be good if he hit it. But with one card to come, he makes the prudent fold.
Alex dealt an ace. Queen 9 now for Arthur Conan. A call from Ponikovs. Does Arthur sense weakness? Ace high, good. So kind of the way they started this match, close to the vest. A lot of it has been played that way. We talked about how deliberate they are, and Alex has to do that until he finds a moment where he thinks he can run with it.
The deliberateness, though, you know, I've been watching a lot of live heads-up matches. You know, the heads-up on Poker Go, the heads-up, the high-stakes duels they've had. You know, Daniel against Doug Polk, which actually was only first live and then went online. They were playing much faster live than these guys are playing online.
Yeah.
And online guys usually play a lot faster. So,
and they were playing two tables, some of the guys at a time.
Yeah, and they were playing two tables. They were playing pretty quickly when D. Neggs was playing Polk. So it's just this deliberateness during this championship match is just off-putting. I'm surprised it's this slow.
So what is the draw, do you think? I mean, it is kind of like, I mean, because you can get these heads-up matches together so much quicker now online. It is like watching the old, you know, boxer great versus boxer great. You know, you can get two guys together so quickly. I mean, there has been a flurry of heads-up action. Is it a draw for the heads up players more, or for the fans who are watching, do you think?
I'm not a good person to ask. As a casual person, it's hard for me to watch heads up for a long time, particularly if it's just online where you can't see anybody talking to each other. So I know it's the flavor of the month right now with, I'm better than you, you're better than me, let's play heads up. Let's play for rolls, this and that. So I think it will pass. I don't know how attractive it is in the long run for viewers, especially if it's a 4 or 5 hour match. It's just hard. Most viewers don't, they're in and out in a half hour, hour.
When online was really starting and really finding its own legs, there were big rails for those events. There are people out there who want to learn from these people, and it's a free lesson, basically.
It is a free lesson, but again, heads up, for most people playing poker, heads up doesn't come up that often. You don't see a lot of people playing heads up in a card room. You do see it more online. So I just don't know the long-term value of it and why we're having a lot of activity right now. I don't know if that's going to continue.
Gut shots for both here. Conan with the lesser one, but still could be a winner. And there is the 8 that comes home for Panikov. Scary board for Arthur to bet into. And Alex with the top end of it. He checks back, and an ace on the end. What a check that could turn out to be for Alex.
Yeah, hopefully that pays off here on the river for him. The ace hits Arthur Conan. I think he's at best check calling here. I don't think he'll lead out.
Alex watching his opponent. Now there is the check. I think he can get something out of him.
Well, this is one where you might overbet on this river to make it look like it could be a bluff or it could be the nuts, and you're just polarized. So which one does he have? Like if he goes for the really small, he still
3/4.
3/4. That's I thought it was either going to be 8 or 9,000.
Yeah, it could have been
over
overbetting.
2,300, and he does get the call from that one. And
good sizing.
Nice sizing, gets him a decent pot and puts him back in less than a 3-1 deficit, closer to 2-1.
Well, he can't keep treading water. He's been in.
You can tread water.
Nah, for long.
Yours at
Poker
home
does not let you tread water.
You have your feet in the bathtub, and just warming up your ankles and below.
Why are you so literal sometimes?
Did you just call me pedantic? You said I was literal?
Yes.
Okay.
Why did you bring up pedantic?
I don't know. I heard pedantic when you said literal, and I realized I misheard you. I don't know. I don't know what pedantic means. I don't know what a cutie means. You used a third word. I didn't know what it meant.
You're to Maryland, right?
University of Maryland, College Park. Yeah. That's not a factor here.
You still owe parking tickets there, right?
I had parking violations that had to be settled before I got my degree. They don't give you your degree if you have $800 in parking violations. Ooh! Scare me. Like that degree did me any good. I'm sitting next to you 40 years later. That was a good move. Oh, look, Wall Street, I got an American Studies degree from the University of Maryland. Oh, not interested. Oh, look, Silicon Valley, I got an American Studies degree from the University of Maryland. Not interested. Oh, look, I can walk into a card room with an American Studies degree and lose. That's what I'll do.
They love you. It's better to be loved than just to be hired.
No, it's better to be respected than loved. That's what I heard in the Bronx Tale. That's what Sonny says. He taught C. It's better to be. You want to be respected, not loved, or feared, not loved. I forget which one. Somebody out there will know, but nobody out there's watched the Bronx Tale.
Six is a good here for Alex.
I think I think his plan is he doesn't get a bet out of Conan. I thought he was going to call any bluff there. And Alex creeps up a little more now to get it to better than less than a 2-1 deficit.
Grind, grind, grind. No raising from Alex. Doesn't matter the hand. Heads up, you can raise anything.
Well, again, the blinds now up to 1250, 2500. Less maneuverability. Alex willing to just limp in and see if he can hit a flop or do some,
do some bluffing.
Do some shenanigans.
Shenanigans are good. They work.
They're easier to try to execute when you got more chips, but yes, nothing with here. King high, definitely good for Arthur Conan.
Mm-hmm. Picking up that Broadway draw. All Broadway draws are gut shots, by the way.
Well, what if you have
no
10 Jack Queen King?
You can have an open-ender with a Broadway draw, but all Broadway draws are gut shots.
What if you have 10 Jack Queen King? What's your answer again?
If you hit the 9, you don't have Broadway. You can.
Oh, I see I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. That the Broadway itself is still just a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, all Broadway draws are
And
gut
wheel
shots.
draws, yeah.
And wheel draws. How about around the bend draws?
I love those.
Yeah, around the bend. That would change poker, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You can open ender around the bend.
They could open it up for a hopscotch straight as well.
The hopscotch straight is good. I got my first hickey playing hopscotch.
Nobody's got nothing.
Some nothing's better than other nothing. I learned that in a cool hand
This
loop.
nothing might be better. Arthur can only beat a bluff. And he will
give it up.
And more chips out.
Not many, but still.
Yeah.
From
Alex is in for the long haul.
He's doing all right. Approaching 30 bigs. Less than a 2-to-1 chip deficit. I see Alex has a smile on his face right now, even though, I just closed my eyes. I think he's got a smile on his face. I like his attitude.
Bouncing in the chair a little bit.
He's bouncing, as that chair did bounce. He's got confidence. He's got incredible confidence in this game. He's got a positive outlook.
And they both hit the flop again. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, he does.
So, yeah, he's the type of guy that I like to be, another guy who's a face of poker. He's ebullient in his attitude. I'm sure in a live game he's fun to be around, and I just think that's the type that we need to get more of.
I wonder if he can get out here for the World Series.
That's difficult.
Yeah, the travel's tough. It'll be an interesting World Series this year. We're just working through it all, folks. Just trying to work through it all. Every year, every month will be better.
I'm glad the Buddhist in you is taking over.
Couple straight draws out there, and bingo.
Well, bingo. Bingo.
Arthur.
Bingo. Bingo? Bingo, bingo what? Bingo?
No bingo.
But the 9s are good enough.
Yep.
God, have you ever embarrassed yourself? Have you ever played bingo, been in a real bingo parlor?
Oh, please. I was a bingo caller for 2 years.
Oh, that's different. Okay, so I didn't know you ever mentioned that to me before.
Yeah.
I could see you as a bingo caller. I didn't know if you had played bingo and then, I yelled out bingo and you didn't have bingo.
Oh,
Which I've never done. I used to have to go to a bingo parlor. But yeah, it's kind of hard to make the mistake, but you can make that mistake, and I've seen it done.
My daughter was a synchronized swimmer, as you know, and they were funded by the bingo hall that they owned, and the Olympic team, which she was a part of that group. Her coach was the Olympic coach, and that's where a lot of the Olympians came from, and they were funded by our local bingo hall. And so as parents, we had to run the bingo hall.
Wow.
So I called bingo for a long time. Interesting, very interesting. The bingo crowd is fun. We had nights where you have multiple winners, you can have a lot of winners. And our license said we can't play bingo as all in here from Alex with deuces against the king tray. And he's going to call? No. What was
That
that?
was like a.
That was a.
I was shocked when he said good luck because that is what you say when you're going to call.
But yeah, we had to finish by midnight, so we had to finish all the games before midnight. Couldn't start a game after midnight.
After midnight.
142 people called bingo at the same time in the room, which
What the heck?
they could do. It's just part of what happened. And so you have the option of paying everyone $1.25, or you get a unanimous, let's roll it into the purse of the next game.
Oh, I like that.
Have you ever tried to get 142 people with money involved
To agree
to the
with
same?
that.
They had to go through. It took 45 minutes to pay everybody off $1.25. That's the bingo crowd.
That is a different crowd then.
All right, pair of fives for Arthur Conan on the flop, as he has not been able to put any more space between himself and Alex Ponikoff so far, as they battle and really do battle for this World Series of Poker bracelet, the finale of this 10K Heads Up Championship on GGPoker. Now a 4 on the end for Alex, and that gives Conan 2 pair. Little bet.
It should be. It's possible your 2 pair could get called, but it hasn't been played where there's like Alex didn't flop a pair of 10s or get any part of the flop. So
That's a call.
he
3,000.
did get the call.
2
There we
pair
go.
better than 1 pair. Little hitch in the giddy up now for Alex, but he does look at ace-6 offsuit against the queen deuce. 1250 and 2500 the blinds now. Well, Alex over 20 bigs.
Arthur Conan limping in, and we've seen more of that. I don't who's running that. I don't think any. Oh, wow!
With the ace, the weak ace, and the fold from the queen. I don't know. Was that like a? I don't know. I'm running hot. Here I go.
And he's going to keep the.
Yeah, do what's working for you. A raise again from Alex. Gets a call. Tray 5 of hearts. Not looking so pretty right now.
C-bet should get through for Alex if he chooses to go that route.
Yeah, he's got the queen of diamonds in his hand. That should be the end of it. So Alex keeps clawing, but he really can't get up the next couple of rungs so far. I mean, Arthur has been playing pretty tight. The pots haven't been big. And Alex is going to have to, really push a little harder the deeper we get into this structure.
That is, I'm doing the math in my head. That is the 4th. No, that's the 6th worst flop for tray offsuit. 7th. I can figure this all out in my head. You're good luck.
Yeah.
And I was just making them
I know that.
my numbers up.
Queen eye bester against the 4 tray. Alex looking for something that would make sense for him to bluff at every pot and have Arthur shuffle aside, but check, queen high is going to win it. And Arthur seems content just to kind of wait, as you mentioned, deliberate the whole way. He's got the advantage, but just 2-1 now. Jack for Arthur. Ace high, no good anymore.
And with the ace of clubs, though, he may put in the C-bet on this 2-club flop. And he does, and Arthur Conan certainly going to be at least calling right here.
Arthur Conan defeated Adrian Mateos in the semifinal earlier. Alex Ponikoff's defeating USA Daniel Soltis in his semifinal. So now these are the two left from the field of 161. $10,000 from each entrant. Gold bracelet to the winner.
When Adrian won his first bracelet, he won it heads up against Fabrice Soulier, one of my favorite French players, who I like speaking with once in a while. Arthur Conan trying to bring home a bracelet for France here today, and in position to do so.
Some very good French players. They're strong. Seen them at the final table, main event. The jack bets. Jack's up bets. Is ace high good? Is ace high good? Ooh, all in from Alex Ponikoff. And now can Arthur muster up a bracelet and call?
And Alec, again, trying to take advantage of the ace of clubs in his hand. The flush came in on the river. Trying to represent a big one here.
Oh, the bracelet is in his grasp.
He got him to fold.
Oh, my goodness. What a play. Another big bluff from Alex Ponikoff. And Arthur Conan had the bracelet right there if he could call, but he felt not there. That was not the moment.
No, but that moment he will look back on if he does not end up winning this bracelet. Great play there by Ponikoff's. Pulls into a 3-2 chip deficit. The best position he's been in quite a while.
In 1893, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote the book, The Adventure of the Final Problem. And he did not solve the final problem, Arthur Conan here.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that one up. Now, I just think you're making up names of Sherlock Holmes' book, okay? I mean, this is absurd. The Adventure of the Final Problem? I'm looking it up later.
Okay. 1893.
Yeah, the fact that you even cited a year is more of a tell to me. You're just making this stuff up. I think you've learned from me. Just throw out stuff, and it sounds authentic and authoritative, and it's just bull.
You do that?
Just on occasion.
Oh, okay.
I like to, you know, certainly not with the kids. I want kids to, you know, believe that there's Santa Claus and that 2 + 2 = 4.
Both with the deuce. Been played so far. Deuces and trays. Bottom pair. Makes the call. You singing? You singing?
I'm not singing if there's a bet.
Okay.
But a fortunate card for Arthur Conan here on the river.
It really is.
To get the chop if
it gets there. Check, check. Chop, chop. Deuces and trays. King kicker for both. This could be fun. Ace-8 for Conan has the action. Small blind on the button against the Jack-Queen of Alex Ponikoff's from Latvia.
Now, explain to me that sometimes when they're short stacked and you have like an ace-8 all in against a jack-queen, how come paint always comes on that flop? How come it seems like the jack-queen is actually favored against the ace-8 and it's not? It doesn't seem like to you that that Jack, Queen, Kings always.
You just
come out
want
there and
paint,
flop?
right? You just people
and
love
you
paint.
Get 2 out of 3 chance for your cards. It seems like it always comes out there that the ace is actually an underdog when it's not.
I don't
Just
like
saying.
that ace is not considered paint. I know it's not paint.
No, but I'm saying
it's in the paint world, you know.
It's not.
Oh, look at this. Ace 8 against the Queen Jack. Paint always comes, does it?
Well, I don't
Alex
think
is hoping.
He's
No.
not doing this time, but we would have got to see my exact example there, and it would have come for Alex.
Nice move by Arthur Conan. Now with the suited Jack 9 pocket pair for Alex Ponikoff. This could get interesting as well.
Yeah, two good hands heads up.
Arthur Conan flexing his muscle against Alex there. And Alex not happy that he got shoved on. But Jack 9 suited. Re-raises all in. The pocket pair for Alex. He says good luck. He's all in with a pocket pair. Ponikoff looking to double up with a 5. 2 clubs there. No 5, no Jack, no 9. There is a 9, I'm sorry. And the river card coming for Alex. It's a red river card. The 9 is there. And Alex Ponikoff's 5s go down to defeat. And we have another French bracelet winning champion here in the Heads Up.
Well done, Arthur Conan mowing down Adrian Mateos, and then Alex Ponikoff's well-earned for the youngest player in this Final Four. Arthur Conan's the 24-year-old, wins his first bracelet.
So very deliberate. I mean, they started deliberate it pretty much that whole way until they had a hand to run with. And it seemed to play into Arthur Conan's, I don't know, strength maybe. He was very confident. He got the lead early on. He was able just to hang on, didn't get out of hand. Yeah, he got bluffed a couple of times, but, you know, as long as you're in there with a chip lead, we show things can happen.
Yeah, and so Alex Ponikoff's going to have to wait until probably after he's 30.
Yeah.
He's a has-been now, did not get a bracelet before he's 30, unless he wins one in the next 10 days. Congratulations to Arthur Conan. Really well done. His great 2021 continues. I mean, during the pandemic, he went down to Florida and he won the 50K Super High Roller. He was 10th in that WPT main event, and now he brings home his first bracelet.
No, he's shown that he has the chops, and the world is there to see it. He might be playing a lot of online poker under kind of an anonymous name. This heads-up format now brings all the names forward. They had to play under their real names, and the name of Arthur Conan is one that people are going to remember. They know him in the WPT. He's won 3 WPT high rollers as well. He is a guy that could play a huge role in this year's World Series.
And Arthur Conan now with a bracelet. Arthur Conan, 9 bracelets behind Doyle. Okay?
Very nicely done. Very nicely done. So $466,000 and some change for Arthur Conan. He does get a bracelet, and forever a spot in poker history as a bracelet winner. Next week, we're going to be here about the same time. We're going to bring you the final table of the main event live, the 5K online main event. And, of course, last year it set Guinness Book of World Record for largest online poker pool. And they've got a $20 million guarantee on it this year, which just tells you they're very confident they maybe could break that record this year.
Well, it's going to be obviously another overwhelming large field that's forming this week through 17 flights, and so it should be a great main event.
Well, I've enjoyed it. Norman, Chad, thanks very much. Good to see you back here working together again. The main event is still yours for the taking. If you want to get on and you're able to play on GG Poker, the main event has another day 1 and then day 2 all the way through, and we'll get to the final table next Saturday. There are still several events on the GG Poker bracelet schedule for you to play, and you too could be a World Series of Poker bracelet winner. For all our crew here, for Norman, Chad, I'm Lon McEachern. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks for commenting. We'll see you again in the coming week.
This is going to be over.
That's it. All in and a call. Alex Ponikoff, you see, 95%. Now drawing dead is Daniel Soltis, and he has been eliminated. Unsuited. He raises all in. The pocket pair for Alex. He says good luck. He's all in with a pocket pair. Konikov looking to double up with a 5. 2 clubs there. No 5, no jack, no 9. The river, there is a 9, I'm sorry. And the river card coming for Alex. It's red with the river card. 9 is there. And Alex Konikov's 5s go down 2 to